Hello everyone, I'm just trying to make sure we're all set and well, everything's live, it's set right. YouTube's been a pain in my butt recently, so just trying to make sure that that doesn't become a problem. And also making sure my admin account is logged in, so just give me 2 moments and I'll be alright with you. In fact, why don't we do this to open the day? For the WARDITV 2025 Championship, it's Championship Weekend! Oh, massive fungal growth comes down and this Bioforce gets caught. That's not the trade Clem can really afford at the moment. Blaze, just gonna be seeing the fungal growth come through as well. Oh my god, those parasitic bombs have just killed absolutely everything. Oh my god. Here we go, Reynolds gonna dive in. He does drop a mega fungal on everything. He's gonna refungal as well, as this commitment will happen. It's gonna be on the way already. We're gonna get this Colossus quickly. We dive on it. The Stalk is pulling through for the siege tank, but leaves the Colossus unprotected. Units from the other side, SCVs. Clem is now picking up individual Marines to dodge Stalker shots because that's the level that we're playing at. On the high grounds, the tank will go down. These Banelings are going to get massacred though as Clem just says no. And you're ready to blow up on the Adepts. Oh, the worst Adept shade of all time. Classic is your WARDITV 2025 champion. .4-0 dominance. Bang in. All right, hello guys, how we doing? Hello. Welcome to the WARDITV Mondays, edition 100. We are going to be kicking off here very soon as we are waiting for things to begin. Just sorting a couple of things out. Hello, what's up? Chip, a 27-month resub. Fly Yiking as well with the 40-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate you guys. Happy 100. Thank you guys. It's amazing to be at 100. We'll talk a bit about that obviously over the course of the day as well. Just trying to make sure everyone is settled and all the rest of it early on. Make sure everyone has their matches set and so on and so forth. So yeah, just give me a couple moments, guys. But we'll be getting going soon for this 100th edition of the WARDITV Mondays. Actually on a Monday as well. It was going to be tomorrow. Ended up coming back a bit earlier than expected from the weekend. And that's a happy coincidence as well, because tomorrow is the start of the GSTL, which is going to mean that literally all of our players were not going to be able to play. It was going to be pretty miserable, actually. It was actually very, very annoying because they had... I had a lot of stuff set up and so on, and then, you know, I'd been telling people to come play, and then everyone was like, we can't play, there's GSTL. I'm like, okay, and when did GSTL schedule get? So they're like, oh, like 2 days ago. Can someone please not schedule over me one time when it's important? What did I want to do? I was just going to reset the goals quickly as well, just for the start of this one. Reset those. Cool. We're going to go Beyond Classic to start the day, as that just obviously makes a ton of sense. We'll go start the day off with Beyond versus Classic. And we'll just kind of go from there and see what our day is going to give us here on this beautiful WARDITV Monday. Like I say, edition 100, $40,000 of prize money given out already as well over the course of the WARDITV Monday events. All of that not possible without the amazing sponsors we have helping this happen, which is of course OSC helping us out, obviously running a bunch of their own events as well. Loco supports us and helps make sure these WARDITV Mondays happen too, and Winter, big supporter of the Mondays and other WARDITV events. Also, shout out to all of those guys for making sure that we were able to last over the last 2 years to get to WARDITV Mondays edition 100. And obviously you guys too. Without you guys watching, playing, supporting, we wouldn't have gotten here either. So appreciate it. Big thank yous. And we are going to start the day with a banger. Beyond versus Classic to start us off here in a couple of moments. And get this ready to go in just a second. And get this ready to go. No Clem, very sad. Yeah, Clem's not enjoying 8 work at StarCraft at the moment. He doesn't fancy getting up to... doesn't fancy getting up to play this version of the game. I think, is the situation, sadly. Oh, hello everyone again. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing great. Just, like I say, again, a couple things sorted. I'm just adminning over on this side for a moment or two longer. Once I get these couple of things sorted, we should just be clear to go and fully focus. Beautiful. Alrighty, yeah. Cool. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for joining us. Nice, I'll cast some Zero Space. Yeah, I'm very excited about the Zero Space stuff. The WARDITV Zero Space Weekly starts not next week, but the week after. So we're going to start having weekly Zero Space to cover, which, yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are very excited about it. I think a lot of people are just really interested to see kind of some games and some competition and so on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Quick mention, if you do want to follow the WARDITV Zero Space YouTube, I'll just pop that link in the Twitch chat. We'll get some love there for the Zero Space YouTube if you want to specifically keep your eyes on that, because I know some people do like to. Alright, I'm just clearing up a couple things. I'm waiting for Beyond Classic to be ready to go. We should be able to go fairly shortly here for this, like I say, 100th Monday Cup. Fun bracket. Shin is going to be our top seed, winning last week's for the second ever time his Monday victory. He will play the winner of this Classic Beyond series. It's very likely we follow this series of matches. Max Pax will probably play Nicorect in the round of 16. Christiana likely to play Shameless. Cure likely to play Rex. Rogue likely to play SOS. herO likely to play, well, Mana vs. Honmono could maybe go either way, but say Mana's a favorite. herO Marine likely to play solo in the round of 16 as well, as herO Marine taking part today. He usually does not, but great to see him here out and playing some WARDITV Monday Cup action as well. Cool. Yeah, how's everyone doing in the chat? Let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know if you're feeling good. I'd love to hear from you all. As unable to refresh my YouTube authorization token. It's not a good thing, is it? Let me just sort that out quickly, guys. Just need to give my WARDIBot YouTube permissions again. Cool. Fixed. WARDIBot can get back to spamming the YouTube. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. If you're watching on the YouTube, by the way, hello on the YouTube. Good to see you guys. Don't forget to take a moment and hit that like and subscribe button, especially the like button. Get some love on this stream. Let some people see it. Let people see that we are here and all the rest of it. It's always appreciated. Thank you very much if you do go ahead with that one. Like I say, much appreciated as we just wait for this Classic Beyond lobby, which is coming up now. Classic going to drop us into lockdown for the opening game of this best of 3, and we should be ready to go in just a moment. Beyond Classic first round, Seed 8 versus Seed 9. I mean, a lot of the round of 16s are very good. It's just neither of these guys have the have to play the round prior, so they just sort of meet. 8 versus 9 is usually one of the better matches as well. Obviously, it is somewhat randomized, the seeding as well. Again, the seeds are basically top 4 from last week's cup get seeded 1 to 4. Everyone else is randomized, with pro players being dragged up in that randomization and non-pro players being dragged down. So you basically have top 4 of last week, all the rest of the pros in some sort of randomized order. Sometimes we edit that order slightly from the randomization to basically avoid, like, ZVZ only, or the only 2 Zergs playing each other, etc. This week I actually had, there was meant to be Beyond Rogue, and I was like, man, I've literally had Beyond Rogue play so many freaking times lately. Like, they played in so many of the Monday Cups in the early rounds, so I actually separated Beyond and Rogue by a single seed, which led to Beyond versus Classic instead. So, that's how we're going to start today off in WARDITV Mondays edition 100. You know, the 100th edition, we should really put up the actual Monday logo. That would be nice. I'll just do that out of game as well. Yeah, I'm not even giving the proper love to my own thing. Let's start casting some SC2s. As in the top right-hand corner, we're going to start things off with the blue Protoss player. This is going to be classic. But against the red Terran in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we're going to have ourselves Bjorn. You pair the player with the highest TVZ win rate against the player with the highest DVT win rate, so they give it their all. That sounds a little bit too much like match fixing. No, I don't specifically pick matches. I'm just like, you know, if it's a case of like, oh, all the Zergs are going to play each other by like the round of 8, we usually shift people by like 1 seed or something, just to make sure that we, you know, get a little bit more variety. Obviously, our goal is to make as entertaining a weekly cup as possible. That is our main focus in these scenarios, in these events on the Mondays. So that is what we try and make sure that we get done. As we just have Bjorn in the bottom side. He's going to be cracking into an orbital here. Classic with the Nexus coming down early. So fast expansion from Classic. Going to throw that Nexus down straight after the gate, and the gas side, the core will come in after the fact. It doesn't mean, obviously, first units out of the gateway can be a little bit later, but that doesn't matter as much anymore with the fact that they are obviously going to still build extremely quickly out of the gate. Well, actually, I guess not until Warp Gate's done. So, maybe it can still be a little bit impactful. But we'll see. I mean, there's so many Terrans that are doing exactly this, which is open with the Marine and not with the Reaper and so on lately as well, that maybe Classic is a little bit more safe to do this and is able to kind of get by without that early unit against a super fast Reaper a little bit more often than not. The probe turns around, Cybercore coming up, the Nexus is coming through, the Stalker and the Warp Gate continuing to produce on into place. Just for a few more moments. And that probe heads up into the main, as you are going to see triple command center coming down here from Bjorn. So all 3 of those command centers coming straight up. There's a couple of Marines building out of this barracks. Drop a barracks into the main base over here as well. Just get that set up. A couple of Marines still gathering together. Command center coming through. Robotics facility building. A couple of probes. The Warp Gate coming online. Again, command center orbital. And that racks continue to come through as well. So just bringing a bit of this all up and online at the moment. The Stalker and the Warp Gate continues to produce on outwards. And yeah, this robot facility is going to build on the front of the natural here. So bring that robot facility up into place. Up the gateway as part of the wall too, so Rogue has the choice. Obviously opens the door pathway into a very early, warp prism, for example, early observers for vision. Doesn't mean, it doesn't mean you're also not going to have a super fast like Twilight Council, so you're not going to have an early blink, you're not going to have super early charge. Oftentimes when you do get to that Twilight off the back of a robot, you can go charge straight away just because you kind of need the bulkiness of the charge lots to kind of be there rather than the Stalkers trying to get to blink and then just not really being enough to hold on against what at that point in time is going to be a larger bio-based army. Especially in this game where as you scout now with this hallucination, you see it's triple barracks, so you know it's very bio-heavy. Now this makes sense too maybe then. Robo Bay on the 2 bases, so we're going to play 2 base Colossus here as Classic. Now this is fun against the 3 racks because what you're essentially going to do is you're going to prioritize splash damage early, so the big swarminess of that bio army is going to be less effective because you're going to have an answer to it. And then the other thing you're going to have going on is you're going to be a little bit safer against some of those bio pushes. However, this is not just straight up 3 racks, this is triple CC as well, though Classic does know that. I wonder if he's also just saying maybe he can get to like 2 to 3 Colossus. He knows he can take the 3rd in this scenario because his opponent is actually on the triple CC himself. So he's going to have very fast Colossus, and maybe there is going to be a timing window here where he can kind of strike with 2 to 3 Colossus, and there's not really the tech available from Bjorn to really stop this, or to, deny that from being, deny those Colossus, aka basically not having a Viking available just yet, because we've been building into everything else. So yeah, I think a couple of interesting questions there for sure, as the couple of gateways will come down over on this right side, get this 3rd base location setting up. Nexus, gates, both coming through, extended thermal lance on the way. Stimpack is about to complete that starport, building the main. A couple of Marauders will be building on these barracks over the next few moments. Starport, like I say, will be concluding very shortly. Can swap on over toward the factory and its reactor. Forward pylon from Classic, so he'll have some warping potential if he does get aggressive, which I kind of want him to, but I am afraid. Like, we are building Marauders here as Bjorn. And there's 100% a chance that if you just mess up the force fields and your Colossus gets jumped on, everything dies real fast. And if this Colossus doesn't live, this is exactly everything you've built your game around. So you kind of really do need this Colossus to live, you know? If this Colossus don't live, you're not going to be having a good time in the long term. So these Stalkers pushing through. We'll get this Marine. I just want to mention, by the way, my bad, I was meant to mention this at the top when I was talking about sponsors, but I was adminning and got distracted. But again, special shout out to Ian M7 today, who actually sponsored $200 to this Monday Cup, allowing us to put out more prize money for the players. So we've raised the prize pool of the top 2 spots, and also top 8 will get paid out today. That's not something that usually happens in the Mondays. We don't quite have the funding for that, as that would have been a nice catch, but we can't really jump on it. No blink. But it does mean that for today only, we're able to pay out the top 8 players, and we're also able to give a little bit extra love to help celebrate the 100th Monday. So thank you so much again to Ian M7, who sponsored this one up. As you're going to dive at the front. First Stalker goes down again. You're going to see the lack of micro ability on those Stalkers a lot here, not being able to blink back and save themselves. The force field's helping to keep some of the bio away, but then also keeping the Zealots out too. You stim again here as Beyond. There's another force field available, so Classic can just sit here and control this space. Marines are wandering forward, not having a good time. Classic sees all of this movement with the Observer that just lingers over the army. So unlike Beyond to, leave an Observer overhead. He's usually so on top of picking those off, and he does pick that one off right now. And this Classic should be extremely happy with the damage he's found early on here. Gonna get Beyond supply blocked heavily from all these depots he killed. Traded extremely effectively. Killed a bunch of their bio army. And Beyond obviously is on a 3rd CC, and he would like to move that out to start taking that eco. He's starting to oversaturate in this moment. So this is the exact point of the game where Beyond would like to step towards his 3rd, but that's going to be extremely difficult to do when Classic's army is being terrifying, sat out the front of Beyond's ramp. And yeah, this little drop of Marines did some work, found a cancel on a Nexus, but we're now seeing a 3rd Colossus joining in this fray over here, and there's going to be 3 Colossus against still 0 Vikings, because we're still trying to build the medevac count up. So this super fast Colossus play is absolutely paying off. And again, the consequence of this for Classic is that this army is much worse outside of the Colossus than it usually would be. Typically an army like this has blink and charge. Well, soon it's going to have charge, but still not going to be blink for quite some time. We're actually going to recall home to deal with this drop. This one drop of Marines is going to give Beyond the freedom to actually get out and take his 3rd. He's going to force Classic to recall everything back home. That repositioning on the map should give Beyond a chance to step to that 3rd base. We'll see if he actually has the units to kind of move toward that 3rd base here. Classic is playing full warp gate mode as well. No gateways at the moment. Kind of makes sense. He has been playing across the map and warping in aggressively, right? So he's been benefiting from being over to that other side. Obviously, we've had a lot of people at certain points in this matchup as of late turn these warp gates back into gateways and start just kind of cranking out some units just because they build more quickly. But it depends what else you want to build. I mean, Classic's actually very heavy on tech right now. Temple Archives, 2-1 upgrades, Blink starting. These things cost money, and if you're building into all those upgrades as well, it's not like you can really consistently produce off of these like 5 gates or so. If they're in gateway mode and that accelerated, gate production, it's all great and all having the extra gate production, producing things more quickly, but producing things more quickly does not necessarily matter if you just don't have the money to produce any more quickly than you're already producing. So he is just going to leave them as warp gates. I think that's been fine here. He's actually on 8 gates total, so he's just on a good number. And like I say, the benefit of this is that he was able to be out on the map, he was able to be aggressive, he took advantage of already having these units and these structures in place. So attacks paid off for him as Björn settles across the 3 bases. His 4th base is building now also. 4th command center about halfway done here already, so continue to bring that up for the moment. Let me scan out. Let's see what's Colossus going to be as well. This Viking is immediately going to find this prism to push it back over the right side. This drop really has been the best drop from Björn. It's also been the only drop, but it was very effective. It pulled Classic back multiple times now. There's another time where he just has to pull over here to deal with it, loses a couple workers. Happy distraction and keep Classic from just starting to overwhelm. Classic's at that kind of magical point where, as a Protoss, if the Terran isn't going to do anything, you're going to start spamming Nexus. And it doesn't feel like Björn's going to do anything because he's starting to spam command centers. So both sides of this game are going to come down to, well, expansion spam, essentially. Have pros players moved away from Storm after the nerf? Yeah, it's definitely a lot less used at the moment. You have to also consider Colossus got buffed a little bit as well. And so Storm, which was already at times a bit lackluster in TVP, depending on the situation, since its change, it just filled a very different role, and that role is even more emphasized, and it's just not as important. I actually think Disruptors also do a very good job of what Storm really does now, which is zoning. And you already have the Robobait up to go into Disruptors as well, and obviously Colossus are a bit more powerful, so pros plays have generally been revolving around that kind of Robo-based play instead. The numbers on the Storm is very impactful as well for PvZ, so in PvZ you're also seeing a lot less Storm because of that. Classic attacking here, gets some great force fields off. What is that blink forward though? I don't think I love it, and the tanks are absolutely obliterating the Colossus, and this attack from Classic is going to go wayward in the end. He's killed a ton of STVs. The harass through the natural in the main base was super impactful, but he just lost everything in his army. Every single Colossus goes down. There's Vikings to spare, so when you rebuild Colossus, there's already going to immediately be an initial kind of, defense against them. These tanks got a lot of shots off as well, target firing into the back lines. That was just not the fight from Classic. Enticing because he had the force fields down. He got a bunch of Marines caught, so it feels like, okay, I'm just going to laser beam down everything that's within reach here. It just didn't stick as this Bioforce Ghosts, Vikings, Medivac. So we're going to start moving out through the center of the map and taking a little bit of a journey over to that right side at the moment. A Nexus to the upper left-hand corner as Classic will continue to try and expand himself, but he lost a lot of his map control and a lot of his just power in general. Young's going to step through. That's going to be a first Colossus going down here. The second one likely going to get hunted. Classic was out of position moving down the right side, so he will lose both of his new Colossus before he can do anything about it. And that probably means that this base is going to die. He counterattacks with Zealots, but Bjorn has a good amount of units back on the other side of the map as well. And this really should just mean that we have got more than enough right now for Bjorn to power on through, picking up the very first game on the stream here for WARDITV Monday 100. I felt like Classic had a good start, but I mean, it was just that one fight. There's a lot of subtleties and a lot of little things that can put you into a good position, but a damning fight like that is not going to be doing you any favors at all. Bjorn is eventually going to break through this. He's already killed a base, which is huge. He's going to struggle a little bit maybe against some of these Zealots. He's down by a set of upgrades, and he's obviously very Marauder heavy, so Marauders don't do great damage to the Zealots, but yeah, it just doesn't matter. Bjorn has way too much, and it's going to be good enough to take a opening game here against Classic. All right. Gonna head to a game 2 then in a few moments, get this host up, see what our map will be. That's Classic, a player who I really feel like has been looking for a win lately. As I can't help but keep telling you guys this, but like I just have not seen Classic win much. So it'd be nice to see him come out and have a little bit of success and so on. We are going to line ourselves up for game 2 right here. Classic Beyond second map starting up right now as we head into Fear and Faith to determine who will be continuing to look good as we move on through these matches. All right. Getting into Fear and Faith, Classic versus Bjorn in the bottom right-hand side. Gonna get the cross spawn, so there's gonna be that more macro location or setup. It's gonna be in the bottom right, our blue Protoss player, Classic. And the top left, our red Terran is going to be Bjorn. Seen that blink forward to the death a few times. It's just so unnecessary though, no? Like thinking back to what we just saw, like it was just one of the most unnecessary blink forwards. Like you can put some pressure on, but this is a defensive 3-base Terran player. You're applying pressure so you can't take a 4th, right? And you blink into and push yourself into 3 sieged up tanks and a spread of bio, and a good Viking count as well. Like just back away, fire a few shots, back away. You know the Vikings can't chase because the Stalkers will turn around and shoot them down, and just pick another fight. Pick another fight, delay that 4th, get another base up yourself. Like, it was an unnecessarily aggressive move from Classic at the end of the day. And yeah, it's not easy to attack a Terran, and that's why Terran turtling up is so good, but this was also true on the previous patch as well, right? Where you can just, you know, just build a lot of bases and start setting up to then actually take trades. And maybe if those trades aren't as good, you're set up to rebuild back out of them so much more quickly because of the economy you can determine. Like, Bjorn can only take fights like that if he's set up super defensively playing a lower base count, right? So, you know, there's definitely a factor there as well. That's a full proxy mode here for this game, Classic. Funnily enough, builds it closest to the top left-hand side. I guess it's pretty close to the top right as well. I guess it's kind of in the middle between those. Now, this would be a little worse for Classic if Bjorn spawned bottom left. That's obviously the roll of the dice. This is an all-spawn map. So he's hoping the 66% chance Bjorn is on one of these two spawns. That's going to mean that his proxy is as close as it really can be. And this Reaper from Bjorn is going to start moving out now. Also, this is going to benefit Classic because Bjorn is not going to scout Classic straight away. He's going to scout Classic last. Not last, but second, which means that by the time that Classic knows he's up here, Classic's going to be pressuring before Bjorn knows what is happening. The Zealot and Stalker start to go bottom left just in case, but then he realizes, okay, you are in the top left-hand side, so I'm going to run over here, and I think Bjorn is in some serious trouble. Wall is not available. We're building a second Reaper. The only good thing for Bjorn is he has gone factory before expanding. However, he actually cancels the second Reaper and starts a reactor, which is even worse for him, because, yeah, now he would really like to have that. Did he not cancel it? Sorry, the Reaper just finished. So he cancels the reactor, starts up a new Reaper. So that's going to be Reaper 3. That Reaper returning home takes a couple shots. Like I say, the good news here is we've already built the factory, but we get a Hellion out of it, which is not really ideal in this scenario. Let's be real. Like, a Hellion is going to do maybe okay against the Zealot, but against the Adept, against the Stalkers in good numbers, like, Hellion is just not providing the damage you need. This Adept Shade is very important. It provides the high ground vision. And with the high ground vision, you can push up here a lot more comfortably, actually getting shots off as we go. We do put some good damage onto that Hellion. The Adept and Stalker is going to make sure we get it. Widowmine shows up. Widowmine's obviously a very fun one as well, because that's a guaranteed kill on whatever shows up, unless you can find the time to pull off an Adept Shade trick here. If you can successfully Adept Shade trick here, that would be nigh on incredible, as we are going to see this Adept. I think is going to commit to the Reaper, gets one insta-kill. We'll try for the other. The Widowmine then blows up the next unit. 4 SCVs and a ton of mining time lost. Is it good enough for Classic? Now, Bjorn is obviously not expanded. He's going to start throwing down the expansion now. Classic will build Warp Gate off the proxied Cybernetics core. Widowmine just so powerful here because, again, it basically means any unit that comes up this ramp has to sacrifice itself to then clear the way for anything else. Unless, like I say, you can find the chance to Adept Shade Trick, but that's really tough when you're trying to do other things like Macron. So Stalkers, he will stop this Reaper from getting more info. And Bjorn is blind. All he knows is that Classic is not in the bottom left. So all he knows is Classic is either top right or bottom right. He doesn't even know where yet. So Bjorn playing a very blind game. Apart from the fact, of course, at this stage he'll know it was proxied to gateways. Maybe by the timing of the units arriving as well, maybe he can make something of a guess that Classic is in the bottom right, because it would make more sense. Kind of with where he built the gates with the high chance percentage and so on. So maybe that's a factor too, although I guess there's nothing that means we couldn't have built it left side. Still got that Twilight building up. Probe gonna come around the bottom. Sentry. I'm gonna pop Warp Gate coming up. A few Stalkers sat chilling in this natural still. Classic's expansion up, starting to mine. And at this point, Classic's goal is going to be to delay Bjorn from taking his own expansion on location as long as possible. The longer he does not mine from, the better off it's going to be for Here's Classic. As Bjorn begins to bring a medevac and 2 Widow Mines down to the bottom right-hand side. So away they go. And straight across the map, going to cut across into the center. Medevac pull over to that right side. Just going to be seeing this at the probe coming across as well. Medevac moves up top. And getting a couple of Widow Mines just moving through the Stalkers. Heading down that bottom side. Stalker the sentry. Going to drop a little force field down. The tank firing. The orbital command taking a few more shots. The Reaper taking a few hits as well. Stalker is going to get the Reaper, which is just force fielded out. getting to the point where we can't really delay this any further, which is fine. Again, you know, you're not meant to be able to delay this forever and ever. As Bjorn apparently, oh, did he think Classic was top right? Oh, he took the medevac to the top right, but Classic's actually bottom right, which means it's just taken a long time for these mines to show up. They'll have a similar effect, but obviously it's still quite nice for you here because the later that these mines hit, the later it is where Classic already has, you know, stuff built up and so on, so it's less impactful. That's not ideal though. Both these gateways and Cybercore will go down, so the full proxy nature of this is now really going to have an impact. It's actually kind of terrifying for Classic because he's going to be on a single gateway and he's just finished Blink, but he no longer has a Cybernetics core, so he can't even build Stalkers at this point. So he's got to really rely on what he's got, and Bjorn is building a lot of Marine Tank Banshee, high impact units that are going to be high impact in the very near future specifically. This is great for Classic, getting some value. Obviously has that Blink to get away. The more of this we do, the more Marines we shave off right now, the less deadly a force we have to deal with as it gets across the map. This is where cross spawns also really helps use Classic. It takes Bjorn even longer to get to the other side, so it gives you more chances for these Stalkers to show up and to really stand strong and to really deal with this Marine tank force. At least we did kill the medevac, by the way. That's very important because now it means that this medevac is gone and we don't have to kind of continue to pull back to deal with it. The Banshee showed up, but there was a battery there, no? So yeah, the one Banshee on its own won't achieve much. Maybe the natural could do something, but it seems like it's just going to back away. Maybe look for its buddy before we really try and commit. The Observer will poke to the upper left, Stimpack and +1. Combat shields, so the bio upgrades finally kicking in from Bjorn. Obviously a bit of a weird start to this game, especially when you think about the bio upgrades. The bio upgrades are going to be delayed because of how this all went, but we're going to get those bio units powered up now. I think cross spawns was very good for Classic. Yeah, if Bjorn was actually like here, the push that Bjorn made would have been a lot more difficult for Classic to stop and might have actually gotten into a position where those tanks could have sieged. The space that the cross spawn gives you really does help you out a lot in that regard, so that really is a big, big positive. Sorry, Banshee just got in as I freaking answer someone on the other screen. 9 probes. Is that just the Banshees? Yeah. So Banshees show they actually get a bunch of damage done. Apologies, guys. I was just quickly adminning on the other side. It's an unfortunate moment to have to look away. I've been paying so much attention into his wouldn't be the Wardy stream without missing something important. Well, that is a big hit for Classic. That is a big chunk of his economy going down the drains. That is going to be quite a hefty loss. Seeing those Stalkers, a couple of Immortals gathering in the bottom right-hand corner. A few tanks will unsiege. Just going to bring this down to the low ground, and this biotank force will gather to make a push through the center. So Marines, Marauders, and the Cookers shells continue to come up. This bio army of Bjorn on the move. Classic will settle his out Immortals and the Colossus. Just going to sit tight there for a moment. And try to intercept this, but the first tank siege is pretty brutal. That's a really nice set of force fields, though. That's going to punish these units. Another singular great force field that just gets you a bunch more of the kills. Just gotta not be in tank range, though. It's going to be horrible. This Colossus is super lucky to be alive. So lucky that it was not actually going to survive through one more shot, and it did reach those tanks. Going to siege up again. The Zealots want to try and close the distance, but they just walk in. There's -5 Zealots with achieving nothing. And Bjorn sees the Robo. Pylon obviously would be a massive target. The new Colossus is going to get out. Just 4 siege tanks are so brutal. They're doing so much work. And you can see, I mean, you want to try and move across into this. It's not going to go well for you. The Stalker's blinking. We don't kill a single siege tank. Finally, one Immortal gets one of the tanks in the front that was low. Bjorn's reinforcements are stimming across the map as he is eager to capitalize. And capitalize he shall, as we pretty much just punch through this. And we are going to take this down. Bjorn 2, Classic 0. GG's to wrap up the first match of the day. Bjorn advancing into the round of 8 and today's prize money on this extended prize pool WARDITV Mondays. This edition 100 kicks off with that TVP. So Bjorn advances through, likely play Shin in the next round. Last week's winner gonna look to go on another streak. I know some of you guys wanted to see the herO Marine matchup, but we've just missed it. herO Marine Solar started a couple minutes ago. That's very unlucky because we were very close to being able to maybe grab that. We could maybe watch it from another stream. What's up, DJ Crispy? Thank you for the 32-month resub on the Prime. Happy Monday. NFL is so close. Yes, it is 4 weeks away. Very exciting. All right. Yeah, not sure what we're going to jump into just yet, guys, in terms of our next matchup. Thank you for the resubs, of course, guys. Thank you for supporting the WARDITV Mondays, as always. Helps us out massively. Is anyone streaming herO Marine Solar? I think the French stream that just went live might be. Yeah, French stream is in game on herO Marine Solar. They just started their series. And we can put this on screen for a few moments. I can put this on stream for a little bit, I guess. I mean, we can basically, so here's the choices, guys. We can wait for herO Marine Solar Game 2. We can go Beyond versus, I mean, Shin's playing Minizerg, so let's not presume Shin's going to win out either. We've got a couple of choices. If anyone has any opinions on what you'd like to see, please let me know in chat. It's always very useful, makes it a bit easier for me. Shin just came out of game, so it could be we could just jump in with Shin and follow him through to, the match against Beyond. I would, don't get me wrong, guys, I would also like to see herO Marine. Yeah, Shin's going to play Beyond. In that case, we just go Shin Beyond. It's a fresh series that's about to start. It makes sense. Otherwise, we're waiting kind of what could be a long time to join a series that will be already one game down. So we'll just go into Shin versus Beyond instead, guys. I apologize if you're looking for the herO Marine games. Like I say, just a little unfortunate on the timing of that. If it was like another 5 to 10 minutes before Shin was ready, then I don't mind waiting for herO Marine Solar as much for game 2, but they're 3 minutes in game and Beyond Shin will be starting in a minute, right? So it just doesn't really make sense to do the waiting to, like I say, jump in partway through a series. You know what'll happen? We'll wait 15 minutes for it going to game 2, and it's bam, the 2-racks 4-minute game. So yeah. Gross, it's so tragic right now. Chiro said he'd rather play ZVZ than PVZ, and yet he didn't in the Pigfest, did he? Cheeky herO said this, made a big post on it. I shared it, and then bam. Did he actually? No, he did not. No, he did not. All right, Beyond vs. Shin coming up for the quarterfinals of WARDITV Mondays. Obviously, again, making the quarterfinals today means you've already made prize money. Prize money goes out to the top 8 today. Thank you to ENM7 for the additional sponsorship on this. I will sell out a little bit here in just a few moments. I just want the ads to tick down. Today's a sellout day, guys. You got to cash in on the feel good of hitting 100 cups. You got to cash in on that power. Do I think they should revert storm damage? Sure. Like, Storm has seen significantly less play. I don't think it would be bad. Storm was interesting because, like, it was extremely good when you got to... Sorry, I'm just joking around with Bjorn. What was I talking about? What answer was the question was answering? Oh, with red storm damage. Storm was very good when you got into the right position with it, but I think what Protoss were lacking in general was that ability to kind of jump on things like they used to be able to, so yeah. We will see. Just having some fun and games. Bjorn messaged me. He's like, "Why do you want to cast me?" And I'm like, I like watching Zerg so I can balance one when they win. So we were having a laugh, and then he accidentally sent the second and third map pick to me. And then I joined the lobby, so I said the second and third map pick, and then Shin's like, "Haha, how did you know?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just that good predicting the vetoes. Been doing this for a while." Fair take. I just think for the sake of 10 storm damage, like, I think 10 storm damage is super impactful PvZ as well, no, because of how it interacts with, like, Lings and Banes running through storm. So I think that should probably... Yeah, I just think we could give Protoss that back. I mean, Protoss is in a pretty sorry state, so I feel like giving them something back is not really a bad thing, right? But, yeah. Bottom right hand side, as we kick off the quarterfinals of the WARDITV Mondays 100, we've got the red Zerg player Shin. And in the top left, our blue Terran, it's going to be Shopify Rebellions Beyond. Taking down Classic. They make it here, Shin taking out Mini Zerg in the round of 16 into the top 8 today. Decimus, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate you on the Twitch. Guys, this is WARDITV Mondays 100. We have now officially given out $40,000 of prize money across weekly cups over the last 2 years. If you love what you were doing here, and it is pretty much 2 years in a couple of weeks, it'll be 2 years time, right? Like 52 weeks in a year, so we're about a month off. Next month, it'll be 2 years. If you like what we're doing here, if you like the Monday Cups, I know they've become a big part of a lot of people's weeks. Everybody's weeks, but a lot of people's weeks. If you like what you're seeing, do consider supporting. It is so important, especially in the current state and decay of StarCraft 2, unfortunately. Your support goes further than it ever has done before. We've got to try and keep the players playing. We've got to try and keep players active and give them reasons to play. These weekly cups are part of that, but obviously it goes beyond these weekly cups. Being able to give them the bigger events, the WARDITV championships and so on. These stepping stone events, which are unfortunately becoming some of the biggest events left in the scene, are super important for the players. So if you do like what we are doing here, do consider supporting. Best ways to do that: if you're on the YouTube, like and subscribe, that's free to do. If you're on Twitch, follow, that's free to do. If you enjoy the games, keep on showing up every time we stream, that helps a lot, also free to do. The ad revenue goes a long way. Outside of that, you can obviously support monetarily. If you've got a Prime sub, use it on the Twitch channel, it goes a long way to helping us out. You can become a YouTube member, you can sub regularly on Twitch, you can gift subs if you're feeling extremely generous. And of course, most notably, there's the WARDITV Patreon page at patreon.com/WARDITV. 100% of everything pledged on Patreon goes directly into WARDITV tournament prize money. While we do have sponsors like OSC, Loco, and Winter helping out these Monday Cups, a big part of it is still WARDITV prize money. We are still paying for about half of the Monday Cup prize pools every single month. So, like I say, this does not happen without your guys' support. Really appreciate it. And like I say, check it out, especially the Patreon, because the Patreon is a direct path for you guys to put money into prize pools. And I do think that is one of the most important things we can have in StarCraft 2 right now. Thank you, Hummy255, for the 43-month resub on the Prime. Can you send me money in an envelope to my mailbox? I mean, You can, but I don't know if that's the most secure way to transfer money in this day and age, you know? Revert Storm to how it was? I don't know, man. I actually think New Storm was good. It's just very different. Storm got used loads previously. It's just really hard to use Storm, because Storm also naturally kind of navigates with kind of high gateway unit production counts, right? And kind of like, you know, stuff like that. And while that's maybe still accessible in PvT, it's hard because you're also playing against Terrans who hit harder than before with the 300 mineral command centers. So getting to Storm initially is hard, and I already discussed the kind of, you know, with the damage difference and already being on disruptive tech and Colossus being a bit better, it's hard to justify Storm PvT. And realistically, playing PvZ, anything ground-based has been a pretty miserable experience for Protoss, so I would typically say that, yeah, Storm is just in a bad place, but I don't think previous Storm, like the Storm we just had, was bad. I don't think it was a nerf compared to original Storm. It just worked differently, and maybe that didn't need to be how it worked, but I don't think Protoss players hated it. It took a bit of getting used to, but Protoss players kind of figured it out, and they used it in very abusive ways a lot of the time as well, so yeah. I think the Storm we had on the previous patch was absolutely fine. I mean, it was still very good without having the pain point of being like, you know, you drop 2 Storms and armies just disappear, and it's like, oh, crap. You know, which is one of the super pain points of Storm. So, yeah. There's a lot that goes into it, in fairness. There's a lot that goes into it. Queen's going to be there. Reaper is going to be pushed back a little bit. What's up, Anchor? Just saying to say congrats for the 100th Monday. Thank you so much for the 7-month YouTube membership. Appreciate you big time. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. You're the man. No, you're the man. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. Links on the map. Shin is moving around here early as we try and get some pressure, and he's actually going to get into the other side, get straight through the unfinished wall off, as the Hellions sit in the middle of the map doing nothing at all. So they're going to get in, and they're just going to get some SCVs, run up to the high ground with a few links, put some pressure on the orbital. I mean, what's nice about splitting these links up is you're going to force the Hellions to kind of deal with these, which gives you a bit more time on the high ground. If all of your links are just mass trying to hit the SCVs, these Hellions have a bit of an easier time running over and just shooting just up this ramp and getting a lot more splash damage out of this. So while the links that peeled back down to the low ground maybe didn't seem like they did a lot of damage, they actually do still kind of have a positive impact, because I do think it makes it take, like I say, a bit longer to fully clean up for Bjorn than if everything was just stacked in this one location here. So 6 SCVs, maybe not super crazy damage, but it's still nice as Shin drones behind this. 49 to 37 workers currently in the game. The army supplies are very similar as well currently. And a couple drones just going to go down. As the Banshee actually does appear on the other side of the map, so Cloak Banshee is going to be able to put some pressure into place. Getting this on the go already. Queen's just going to be firing. This Banshee taking a few more shots. 4th drone going down. Obviously the Cloaking helping here. And Lair's just not done yet. And obviously we sit between the Spore locations, so we just zone this area. And Banshee will be out of energy soon. And Shin is going to stop sending things between the bases for the Banshee to kill. However, it does allow the Hellions to maybe get in position. There are not a lot of Lings out right now. Okay, there are a lot of Lings out. Where are they? Okay, there's a few here. Is that about it? Fighting into the Queens, obviously losing a couple of Hellions initially is not going to do you any favors when you need the fiery boys to get rid of a bunch of those Zerglings. It's a patch after BlizzCon. Yeah. Patch after BlizzCon, guys. Keep believing. Just gonna see the Lings trying to wrap around these Hellions as the Hellions continue to run. It's gonna be seeing a couple of those Hellions, able to get a few more of these Zerglings, push back the other way. It's gonna have the 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield coming through. Melee, +2 carapace, and the Banelin speed still coming up. We get a lot more Zerglings continue to build by. And these Banshees pulled back toward that main army, knocking the rocks down in the center of the map as well. Banshees actually pull home, and they're going to have a job to do. They can actually clean up these Lings, which is perfect for them while they're low HP. So still getting used out of these while they've kind of extended their health bars across the map. And Beyond utilizing the ledges nicely here on Rainfall to give him some defense with the tanks, while just clearing up some of this initial creep spread, pressing forward, getting a couple of additional creep tumors, making some work happen for the moment. And the 3 Marines gather up, a couple of medevacs nearby. Still got some lings around the right. Just going to be seeing the Banes trying to push forward. The Marines going to lift up into the medevacs. Just going to be seeing the siege tank going down, and this position is going to be absolutely busted. 2-2 upgrades, and the lead there from Shin is going to be nice. 2-2 on the way from Bjorn. Shin will take a chance to add a major round of drones on. I see it changing off over to that right side. Medevacs and Marines coming back over. Marines, those medevacs all gathering up. A couple of those lings going to go down as well. Still got the 2-2 coming about. Hydra's coming around as well. +2 melee keeps building. Marines going to get rid of a couple more creep tumors. Let's see those medevacs loading back up. We have a lot of units on the left-hand side. Tank will siege. Marines will move back in that direction. I like what Bjorn's doing, man. He's keeping a lot of control in this game. Slowing the 5th base down. Slowing a lot of the creep down as well, especially. He's kept a lot of control. And behind it, he's starting to set up to his 4th command center. He's got a couple of different splits of units now to try and help himself out. Running forward here would get an overlord or so. And at the very least put some pressure on. He didn't necessarily... It's very low commitment, right? Because you can just lift up and back away as you need to. Couple of units left behind, but still just applying pressure. And like I say, stopping the creep from pushing out. Queens have been reproducing creep over to this right-hand side, but the left-hand side is barren of active tumors at the moment. So I guess the right side is the priority because you want to get in front of your 5th base, but it's not like there's a ton of creep in front of the 4th base. So yeah. Gun quick enough to lift up. Those couple Banes rolling forward will not do too much. A few Marines stepping forward and changelings going down. These Marines pulling back in the medevac to the center. And this command center is going to settle into the middle of the map as well. Ling, Bane, Hydra. Just going to spread out to the right. Ling, Bane, Hydra going to go out to the left. Ling, Hydra will settle then. Just ready for a push into this position. Planetary Fortress, the Marines, the tanks all set up. You can see those Banes getting ready to roll on through, and here we go. Marines are going to stim. Tanks going to be here. Planetary Fortress going to fight back. Marines continue to kite backward. The Banes are just, off creep, rolling into a death ball of tank Marine. And Shin loses loads to try and get rid of a Planetary, which he does get rid of, but, well, that's going to get replaced real quickly. He didn't even get any SCVs with this. Going to step through. A couple more Banelings is going to be morphing. We see the Hydra stepping forward. There's just not enough damage output right now from Shin to deal with this. Bjorn gets rid of these Banelings that morph, and then Shin is left with Ling Hydra. He's got a couple Vipers on the way. Bjorn going to siege up a couple of tanks. One more coming through as well. Another scan coming down. Creep tumors. Banelings continue to fall. Lings will continue to drop. The Lings going to keep trying to run forward here. One more Queen to that right side going down. The Zerglings will swarm forward. And these Banes are going to reach as well. The Marines will split backward. Good trades from Bjorn. Those tanks have found crazy value. One of them that remains has 14 kills. And the Vipers that are made don't even have energy to participate really in this fight just yet. Tank stays firing on the Hydras as well, which is good. No friendly fire onto Marines as the Lings get close. And Bjorn might finally lose the siege tank with 16 kills on it. And that might be his last tank for the moment, but he's done a lot of damage. Another tank shows up. Still no Banes available. However, now we have Vipers with energy, and that might be enough, especially with lingering reinforcements against what is low HP Medivacs and low energy Medivacs as well. Bjorn's going to have to back this up, and this attack through was... I still think it's fine for him to have continued through here. I didn't realize there's 2 HP tank that got left behind. But yeah, I don't think this is bad for Bjorn still, because you're still trading with a Zerg whose economy is okay, but not amazing. And it still trades are typically pretty good for you. 6k resource loss in your favor. You're going to bounce back into this next fight very strongly. There was maybe a moment where Bjorn could have backed away, but also if you back away, you're going to get chased by the Zerg. So there's that question of, do you really want to back away, or are you actually just happy to continue to kind of settle in there and keep this going as the bio comes back through? A couple of Vipers show up, blinding clouds come down, the Ling Bane will try and roll into this, and this time Shin is going to crash onto this army. It's going to be super convincing. So never mind, I'm saying Terran might bounce back more strongly off the back of this, but it's actually going to be Shin who comes in swinging on the rebuild, and Bjorn, not even a planetary to help him out here. This orbital has to relocate, and we are going to be seeing a swarm of Zerg just pressing through. A pure Ling Bane Hydra. I felt like Shin was in so much trouble, and yet here we are, blowing up SCVs, blowing up the Marines. The rebound from Shin was extremely real as he just swarms on through. GG, and Shin is going to take game number 1 of this best of 3. After kind of feeling like he was in a ton of trouble, he bats that away and he gets through no problem in the end. Alright, Shin takes map 1 off of Bjorn. herO and Solo is still playing. Let me see if I can get an update on that for you guys. It would be nice to see where that score is. Oh, herO and Solo are 1-1, so tied up going to a game 3, guys. Whenever that plays herO in the round of 8, if herO wins, we will probably hold that to cast herO and herO, because it's not every day we get to cast herO and herO. Sorry, I know a lot of you guys want to see a herO game. I'll do my best to bring that to you guys. If herO wins out, I'll keep an eye on it. We get ready for game 2 of Bjorn and Shin here in a couple of moments. Let's head into game number 2, as we have down in the bottom left-hand side. Our red Zerg player is going to be Shin, taking that game 1 after he survived through the tougher times. Up against the top right, our blue Terran is going to be Bjorn. Well, coming across the map, trying to see what is up. Thanks so much, Mysterio. Can't wait for all the ZVZ finals. Ay. There have been a few more ZVZ finals lately. It is nice to see Zergs again, though. I mean, think how barren we were of Zerg players in competitions for a while. It's nice to see the Zergs being here. It's just, obviously, the pendulum has definitely swung in an overtuned kind of manner, huh? SCV coming down to that bottom left. Reaper commands into patching the pool. All of this coming around, and we settle ourselves for a few moments. I'm just going to see this SUV turning back up into the center for a few moments. You find it annoying Zergs don't want to play unless they're favored? I mean, that's not really true. We just had a very low amount of Zergs before. I wouldn't even say all the Zergs are playing more than they were before either. It's not like this patch has made herO play the weekly cups. Rogue, Shin, Solar, they were playing the weekly cups. They just don't play every week. It's just the fact that when they do play, they don't lose in the round of 16 to the first Protoss they play against. Now they are all obviously getting further, so... We just have a very, very low amount of Zergs at the professional level. Unfortunately. And let's see, about halfway done, the Evo chamber coming about. Is Clem protesting the patch? I don't know if he's protesting the patch. I mean, not playing doesn't have to be a protest. He just... I don't think he loves the patch. I know he's playing a lot of Zero Space right now. He's having a lot of fun with Zero Space. So I don't think he's... Yeah, I don't think he's super... into it at the moment. He's not played... I think he's missed like the last 4 weeklies or so. 3 or 4. He's not played on a Monday for a while. At least in the WARDITV Mondays. Carapace coming through. Queen coming up. Got a couple drones coming out the hatchery building. We just got ourselves the Reaper and a couple Hellions pulling back over to that right-hand side as well. If you look at the top 30 players in the league, like 11 are Terran, 10 are Zerg, and 9 are TOS. I mean, the biggest less active Zergs are definitely herO and herO. Because they just don't play in things. I mean, like I say, Shin, Solar, Rogue. Shin, Solar, and Rogue would always play if you like invite them to a bigger tournament usually. But they definitely didn't sign up for like every single weekly, right? Lambo's the same. He would play in some weeklies, but not all of them, right? So... I mean, you've also got 3 Zergs in the top 30 who just aren't active, like a Laser. He played a bunch on the patch, but he's not a tournament participator. Scarlet is not really playing actively, like she plays here and there. Cham, I think Cham plays a little bit, but he's also just not really active, especially in the WARDITV Cups and stuff. It's not a good time zone for him. So you just lose a lot of the Zergs, you know, because, like I say, that list is based on a lot of historical games, and obviously these guys are still very good, but like Yakov, who's rank 32, is much more active of a Zerg than, you know, the last 3 names I mentioned. So yeah. Zergs are, it is weird. It just goes to show there's like a lot to it. It's more than just like, it's more simple than just being like, aha, see, the Zergs are playing now. Like, that's not actually necessarily the case. Like, I think for the most part, the same Zergs are playing just as much as before. They're just not losing, so you're seeing them more frequently, you know? I think it's gonna go wrap around, look for these Hellions. It's a nice catch. This is Mac from Yun, which means that losing the Hellions is less impactful than usual because you're gonna have more of them. Usually using your Hellions like this makes it much more difficult to take and hold onto a third base because you're trying to transition into Marines. Your Marine count's low. If you go on the map, you don't have anything to defend. But in this case, we can continue to have Hellions and likely put pressure on with this. We actually already built a couple of siege tanks. Bjorn is very early in this game committing to some amount of siege tanks here. And as Shin is on 68 drones and starting to build roaches, I don't mind that because obviously, you know, you want to build this kind of Hellion Cyclone aggressive sort of comp. but having some tanks in the background is going to really solidify your defense. And yeah, it depends how Shin approaches this. Because right now, Bjorn's actually going to continue building tanks, so he's not going to have a lot of super activity on the map. But if Shin expects him to be super active and kind of plays for the bigger army to shove, and doesn't realize just how many tanks are on the way, then that could be an issue for him. And Bjorn is still going to move out here. Let's see what he can maybe achieve as he comes across in this direction, just initially. Can I use what Scarlet's doing right now? Alright, she was in a laser stream last night as he was playing some Zero Space, and she said she was practicing Brood War because she's attending a Brood War LAN, I think like next week or something, so... And I think she's just kind of bouncing around games depending on whatever's happening. Obviously, she played she won the Douyu Cup in China last month as well. So yeah, just bouncing around, playing her favorite RTS, just based on whatever's happening next. So we're just going to sit burrowed at the middle of the map. Couple Lings will step through. 15 Swarm Hosts currently on the way out here from Shin. So 15 Swarm Hosts on the way, plus 2 missiles producing. Roach speed is building. These roaches burrowed are very cute, because if you can unburrow on the Cyclones, you can trap them, and then they can't kite away from you. Cyclones pull back over, the Hellions will be there. CC ready to land down onto the 4th position. These next few moments as well, is just getting that set up. And ready to continue right now. Stormhosts are going to start making their way forward here from Shin. As we are going to see the Lings, the Roach is going to approach on that right-hand side. It's a good way for Stormhosts. They get rid of a lot of Cyclones, actually, which is really good value. And on the right-hand side, we are swarming, but the tank's going to help us to hold off for a little bit. Cyclones, the Hellions coming back over. The Roaches will continue to gather up. Spire and Hive. Oh, both build. It's going to be seeing that Cloaking coming up. And Hyperfly Road is coming in. Roach looking to get another catch onto these Cyclones, but will not quite be able to just yet. The Swarm is going to pop another round of Locusts out. This, of course, is generally the idea of the Swarm Host. Let's see what they can do. The Hellions will morph into Hellbats. And they all land in a very similar place, although we do get forward the Roaches during this. We're going to lose these Roaches. They did not back away at all. That's generally not a good thing for Shin, because typically what you want to be doing with these units is you want the Swarm Host Locusts to be dying, and as your Locusts die, you want your Roach-based army to be like, haha! You know, we are able to jump forward. We are able to do very well. Banshees, Hellions, Cyclones actually moving forward. So Bjorn going to try and push forward. Catches the Swarmers off to the side. Couple going down as they pop out of this Nidus a little bit awkwardly. The Roaches are getting rid of a lot of the Hellbats though. However, I think Bjorn is very happy to see the Locust popping out here, because this is very far away from the actual location they want to be. I do think we're going to need something more than just these, something to deal with these Banshees. We've got 5 Vipers that are going to start. The Locust going to expire since they will land and do what they can. Good fight from Shin in the end. He actually does chase for a lot of value. It's just those Banshees playing cleanup. If it wasn't the Banshees in this game, then Shin would be overwhelming. Like I said, the Vipers will provide an answer to Banshees, but it is going to slow down his Roach count pretty significantly. Another round of Locusts is going to go. I mean, they want to hit this base. It's going to be an orbital so it can lift no matter what, and that is good because you want to save yourself from the Swarm Host Locusts here, but the SCVs might be in trouble. They're going to try and run into the background. I mean, kill that Siege Tank. That's already a win here, I'd say. Anytime you're getting a Siege Tank out of Locust, you're typically happy with your pickup of Shin. These free units continue to do very well at the moment. Pull back over to the top. Banshee's heading top side against this Nidus. That is on its way up as well. Knight is coming down. The Banshees will gather into the center, begin to push on forward. Making some moves. Do you think we're probably going to need some... something better against the Banshees? I know we have the Vipers, but I guess I'm yet to be convinced by what they're going to achieve. As yeah, all will just lift off here. And Lucas can get rid of a couple of depots and so. The Yun is actually going to be supply block. He's 155 out of 164, so killing depots is actually pretty significant at the moment. It will have a future slowdown. Banshee's going to come over. Viper's going to parasitic bomb. It's going to do a lot of damage to the Banshees that get hit, but they can, of course, split away from the clump damage at least. Yeah, he already has fight for fight, guys. He's going to lane Locust. Hydra's going to push forward. A couple of abducts. The Hydra's obviously coming through is a big deal as well. Behind that wave of Locust, especially, is extremely powerful. Having something in front of tank for these Hydras is lovely. Only problem being, of course, they don't currently last forever, but neither do the Banshees if they fly over the Hydras. Maybe the Hydras don't need anything in front of them. There's so little remaining. The Cyclones can kite, but they only have so many lock-ons. I'm just going to say GG's. Going to tap out of here. Shin going to go 2-0 into the semi-finals today to play either Max Pax or Christiana. Shin, winner of last week's WARDITV Monday, looking for the back-to-back in Edition 100. Björn will fall. herO waiting for herO or Solar. That's still going on the Twitch stream. Funnily enough, I'm going to bring you guys over to herO Solar, and you guys are going to be like, wait a second, is this the same game? Because they're actually also playing on Sanctuary in their game 3, and it's also mech. But a little bit different. There's no Swarm Host from Solar from what I can tell, and also he's on Hive, he's got Grey Spire. They're also like 3 or 4 minutes deeper in the game than we were in the game we were just watching. Solar obviously controls a lot of this map, but herO is holding on 5 bases, got a lot of tanks up, and he has access to the Ghost, which is massive. I'm actually curious because Solar's going very heavy into Bane lanes to try and deal with this. I'm not completely convinced that that's necessarily going to work out. The Infestor's in reach of the tanks there, so the tank's going to do a lot. Snipe's coming down as well. That position does not feel pretty for Solar at all. Feels like he loses a lot, and the only reason he doesn't lose more is because herO has to come around the top to do something else. There's a bit more of a tail of this game. So we already lost 7 Brutals. There were 4 Battle Cruisers in the game. So it was a BC-based opener from herO. Yeah, that tells you a lot about this game, actually. It being like a Battle Cruiser opening obviously dictates a little bit differently how everything else goes. So that's a little bit of what's happening there. This is the French stream, guys, so no game sounds just as we jump in the backside of this game. Rizzo's lost his 7,000 in favor to herO. Plantry could have really done with right-clicking the Banes. That's one of those times where actually target-firing Banes would have been really nice. So those Banes are still going to find a lot of SCVs. So Solar does hit for some economy damage. In a moment where you kind of need to have the economy as strong as possible as herO as well. And again, these two are fighting for a spot in the semi-finals to play against... quarterfinals to play against herO. This is a round of 16 match that's ongoing. Going to be seeing the units pressing forward. Fung coming down, Ling Bing coming in. Microbial Shroud drops to help us engage into this position. The Ghost's still very powerful here. They've just got to get away from those Banes, and we can get a lot of snipes off. The problem is sniping stuff like Roach Ravager nowadays is a little sad because the snipe is more expensive, so it feels worse to kind of snipe a lot of the cheaper units, whereas before you could use that a lot more confidently. It's just the number of snipes available can be tough. I believe herO is probably going to want to make his way to that 12 o'clock base soon. He's floating the CC there now. Gets rid of a bit of creep there and gets that CC in position and just gets access to a new base. That could be absolutely huge for him here in this game. Ling, Roach, Ravager, Bane, Infestor moving through. Command Center will float a few moments. Lings are stepping forward. The Infestors are going to be there. A couple corrosive bars at Sense Tower will go down. It's going to be seeing the Infestor, Roach, Bane, Ravager We're going to take some steps out of there. Plus 3 vehicle weapons, plus 3 vehicle plating coming up also. So herO will be fully upgraded here shortly. Oh, top semifinals ready, by the way. It's going to be Shin versus MaxPax. Which probably means that we're just going to go into Shin MaxPax, guys, and get that started up. So we'll get that ready for you guys. So yeah, we're going to let the first semifinal get started because we don't typically like to delay it too much. I would like to watch herO if it came around, but making the semifinal wait for an entire other series that isn't even ready to begin just yet is not exactly ideal, typically. So we'll just see where this goes. So it's crashing through pretty successfully. Hits a massive fungal and actually corrosive barrels his way to some success on the end of that. Missing the barrels on those tanks, though. The tanks live. Would have been nice to clear those up because he actually took a few extra shots from them, and Solo's supply does drop pretty heavily as well towards the latter stages. So we put a little bit more repairing out. Ling Bane, Ravager gathering, a couple of infestors join up, a couple of refineries, the missile turret, the +2 armor coming through as well. Gibbs broke, yeah. I think he's just a little bit too broke as well. I think he's close to being like in a alright kind of position, just it's just not quite enough, I don't think. I think these next couple of waves are still going to be very tough for him to stop, because he also doesn't have as much kind of staticky defense as before. And he's also like running out of places to mine from, and he's not successfully taking the next base. That's why I thought the move towards that 12 o'clock was going to be very important, but he never really got there. Looks like Solar has him kind of locked down at the moment. Yeah, when we joined, it felt like herO. We joined at a point where I think herO still had potential, but he needed to see some success. And like I think most just need the 12 o'clock base to come online, so you can keep kind of mining for long enough to stay in the game, as long as you're kind of going to be needing to stay in the game here. Spain's crashing up. Corrosive Barrels landing down on the Liberators. Pull away. Microbial Shroud doing some work. The Salbats and the Cyclones continue to pull out of here. Things the Roaches all continue to produce as well for the moment. Yeah. Solo just has way too much. Thing's gonna just wrap around onto the Morphing Planetary. It's actually gonna die. GG, he's busy typing out. Jeez, Sola is going to take that one down. So Sola moves on through to play herO over on the quarters. We will get into the Shin MaxPax semifinal, guys. We'll get that ready to go here on WARDITV Mondays 100. I just wanted to see the end of this game. They were still videoing and stuff, right? So we don't really miss anything here. Just waiting a little bit to get ready to rock and roll. Awesome. So yeah, it'll be Shin versus MaxPax. herO and Solo. The winner of herO and Solo will play against Cure or Rogue. Cure Rogue has already been playing a little bit. herO Solo will play in that round of 8. Like I say, we will go into the Shin MaxPax battle here in a few moments' time. MaxPax has been pretty absent from the top 4 of WARDITV Mondays lately. Well, maybe not the top 4. He got top 4 last week, but he has been pretty absent from the finals for a while. He did actually not play in a couple of these as well. But the last time MaxPax made the finals of a Monday Cup was back in edition 93, which means it has been 6 editions since he was in a final. For reference, that is the longest that MaxPax was not in a final for since the start of 2025, where he also went from the end of 2024 to start 2025, 6 editions without being in the finals back then. And yeah, he also had, I think that's the longest stint he's had. Both times? No, actually that's not, no, there's a stint in mid-2025 where he didn't make the finals for a while either, for 7 editions, so. He's obviously a frequent finalist, has Max Baxted second all-time in the WARDITV Mondays, 45 total finals. For him across 100 editions now is pretty crazy. 45% of the time, Max Pax is in the finals of this tournament. It's pretty crazy. He is the most frequent finalist. Clem, 43 final appearances. herO, 40 finals. Classic, 17 trailing behind on second place. And Solo at 9 finals as well. He's obviously still alive today too. As we'll wait for Shin and MaxX to get vetoed up and have a look to see what MaxPax thinks might be the solution to this PvZ that has been a struggle for the Protoss as of late. We'll see if, like I say, MaxPax has maybe any better ideas or answers. And we'll get that started very, very soon. All right. I was just waiting for Max Extension the video up, guys. Shouldn't be too long for us. Again, thanks for joining us. The 100th edition of the WARDITV Mondays. Semi-finals coming up in a few moments. Max Pax versus Shin. Getting ready very, very soon. You thought the WARDITV Monday 100 will be on Tuesday. It was going to be. I was away this weekend, but I ended up coming home yesterday instead of today. So, I don't like changing things, but then because there's also GSTL on Tuesdays, so we had a really big issue where basically nobody was actually going to be able to participate, pretty much. So yeah, we basically would have lost like 12 players if we had it tomorrow. And there was I just couldn't do anything about it. Like, it had to be tomorrow until I ended up coming home early. So because I came home early, we were able to fortunately also move this back to the Monday and avoid having basically no one play in the 100th edition, which would be pretty miserable. Because that would have been a terrible way to celebrate it, having literally no one participating because everyone's playing GSTL. So, yeah. Is there anything special for WARDITV Mondays 100? Ian M7 donated $200, so all of the top 8 get paid out, and there's a little bit of additional prize money to the winner and second place as well. The background noise is wild. What's going on in the background noise? Like crazy? Shepard PHX, thank you so much for the 16-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Hello, Ian. How you doing? Thank you so much for sponsoring Monday 100. Yeah, I mean, I would have maybe tried to make it a big thing, but the honest reality is I think the honest reality is that even if we made this like $1,000 cup, we would have had the exact same players participating. Like, that's just kind of where we're at, and it's like we just don't have an extra few $100s to burn on making it a bigger thing for, like, I know it's nice to celebrate things, it just, money's tight. Like, we're trying to run as much StarCraft as we can, you know, whacking what could have been another weekly cup, you know, onto this prize pool, just celebrate 100, it doesn't realistically make sense. Like, you know, numbers are down, sub count struggling, numbers are not in a great place. we got to do what we can to keep the StarCraft rolling, so that comes to making sensible decisions pretty much. So unfortunately, yeah, just the additional prize pool from Ian. But of course, that's the best part, is that you get awesome people from the community coming in and, you know, supporting and making it special in their own ways. That's obviously very cool. So, yeah. I'm just waiting for Max Vex and Shin to be vetoed. They're taking a little while. That's what we're waiting for, guys. So apologies if you're stuck waiting on that one. Oh, well, you are stuck waiting, but that's what we're just waiting on. I just, you know, I'm waiting for them to be done. We'll get this sorted in a few moments. Feels bad, man. It's okay. We're still fine. Just, you know, we're not pulling in crazy money or numbers or something. Like, we can't just go throwing tournaments out here, there, whatever, or doubling prize pool for the sake of things and stuff like that. So. Cup 420 is going to be lit. Yeah. 6.5 years, like 6 years from now. Yeah. Crazy, man. Business. Yo, GCAC Grau BGU. I hope I said at least part of your name right. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you for priming. If you guys have a Prime sub available, it's a great way to support. It goes a long way, helps us out massively. As we get ready up and set to go. Since I hate the 8 worker patch, there's a mod called Patch SC. Probably seen it. Do I plan to do something similar? No. I don't think it's good for the game to split the player base across different patches. I don't think WARDITV Mondays is designed to be a high-level StarCraft 2 event, and as such, it will play on the official version of the game forever. Unless something is strictly, like, bugged in the official version, and we just need to, you know, play on a version that, like, you know, for example, say for some reason Protoss is now starting with 10 workers and everyone else is starting with 8, and it's just, like, it's clearly bugged, and we can just make a patch that fixes that to the normality while we wait for an official update. But, like, we will never run the majority of WARDITV. Like, we might do like a fun tournament on different patch or something, or mod or whatever, but mainstay WARDITV tournaments that are the big competitive events that we run, part of the WARDITV 2026 series, will always be on the official version of the game. So, yeah. That's just, I just do not think it is good for the health of the game to be having. And this is not to say that the patches tournament isn't cool. I love the patches mod. I think it's really fun. But that's not what we're creating on WARDITV. We're not, you know, we are focused on the highest level of competition. And I think putting that on a different mod is just, does not really make sense. So, yeah. It just will not happen. So yeah, I think it's just, I think, like, if the entirety of Pro StarCraft suddenly starts playing on a patch that isn't the official version, you're just fragmenting the community even further. I think it's really brutal to do that, so yeah. Like I say, I love the patches mod. I think it's really cool. I wish some of the ideas from the patches mod were what we took inspiration for this patch. But WARDITV will continue to play on the official version of the game. Unless it gets diabolically bad. Like, unless people are actually just not playing the official version. You know, like, if people straight up are refusing, we have, like, 2 players. But at that point, we're not fragmenting anybody, right? If no one's playing, you know what I mean? So, yes. Top right side, our blue Protoss player is Max Pax. As in the bottom left, our red Zerg is going to be Shin. As we get Shin opening with the hatch gas pool, and we get going here on Washout for the first few moments. If you're watching this one on YouTube, we often upload these matches to YouTube. WARDITV Mondays are some of our most uploaded YouTube content. Do make sure to hit the like and subscribe, helps us out a bunch. We really appreciate it. Isn't it bad right now? Pros can't win versus Zerg. Yeah, I think the patch is bad, but, like, just because I think the patch is bad doesn't take away from where we're at. Like, we play on the official version of the game. I don't agree with the official version of the game. That doesn't necessarily mean that the stance on how we should approach things changes, though. So... And also, I mean, Protoss are still here in the top 4. Protoss are not completely winless against Zerg. It's not great, but I mean, Shin couldn't beat herO on the last patch. Does that mean that Shin, you know, that we should have had played on a different version because Shin could never beat herO? Like, I mean, where do you say that it's actually unwinnable? You know, it's yeah. I don't know. Realistically, it's too early to say that. Like, if this was truly like 6 to 8 months of like Protoss literally never win a series against Zerg, sure, but we're just not at that stage, so. We're just not at that stage. Don't think a matchup has been this lopsided in a long time. I also don't necessarily disagree. Like, I just don't think we're at the stage where you could be like, that's it, guys. It's not worth running tournaments. I mean, trust me, I agree with you guys. You guys might notice the WARDITV Summer Championship is running out of summer to run in. And that might partly be due to the fact that I don't really want to run one of our major events on the year on this patch. And it just so lines up that, like, I'm very busy this week and last week and next week. So, like, it makes sense to delay it a little bit as well. But, like, we could have started the Summer Championship already, and part of the reason we haven't is because I would kind of hope that this patch changed a little bit, or got a bit more figured out or so, before I run my next major tournament. So, like, I'm with you guys. I just also solidly believe that that doesn't mean we just tick off and play on a different version of the game, essentially. So... MaxX Shin. Let's see what MaxX wants to do. He's adding on an additional gateway. He's got a second Oracle currently chrono boosting out. Since our Stalker holds strong, couple Lings will take some damage. Oracle activating. We do have our Twilight Council and Forge continue to come up. Pushing the patches version would make Blizzard reconsider their thing. Mate, Blizzard does not care what I do. Blizzard don't even know the WARDITV Monday exists. Like, running on a different version of the game changes absolutely nothing, apart from gives players less opportunity to play StarCraft. Like, Blizzard have no idea we exist. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Blizzard don't care about this section of the community. So, yeah, like, this is not going to be some pressure tactic or something. We have to act for ourselves, and we have to act for the community in our own hands and do what we can with the situation. Like, we can't apply pressure to make things change, otherwise we wouldn't be in this situation. So, yeah. Like... Anyways, let's focus on the game. I don't just want to complain the whole time. This is... WARDITV Mondays. We're meant to be celebrating, guys, and having a fun time. We're just going to be seeing Stalkers going to poke onto this hatchery. The Oracle's gathered up overhead. We are going to see this hatch on the 6 o'clock will be going down soon. The left-hand side base is on the way up, at least. So if MaxX denies this, he will have a follow-up. He is Fleet becoming behind this scenario. Now, this might just be fast Mothership. He is just kind of playing +1 and Blink, which is very standard, although quite late compared to what it used to be. These Stalkers will back away right now, and like I say, Fleet peeking behind it feels as though, yeah, with extra gates coming up, this is just going to be to get a Mothership and to try and play from there. I think he's just going to move across. He's going to see that Wolf Gate. Get a little bit of a surround. The Stalker step over. The Stalker's in the middle of the map, just going to be picking away at the Overlord. Hydra's missiles, the Groove Spines continue to come up. The Mothership will begin from MaxX at the moment. I just want to run over. The Oracle's going to drop a little Revelation. I mean, this is going to be nice. We get a few Freelings already. The Lings head down the bottom. Just see the couple Lings nibbling up top. We did obviously knock those rocks down, which is important because it denies 3 mineral patches on the preferred base. That's something which MaxX was not able to do. These rocks still exist on Shin's side of the map, so he did deny this hatchery initially, but he's not going to be able to deny the rock. So if that hatch comes up, you'll have a few more mineral patches to access from. As MaxPax is currently just working his way on those rocks, because denying these rocks now, it might seem like it doesn't do much, but it actually gives you a lot more space to run away with. It gives you a lot more space to micro around in that position. As MaxPax will go into +2 attack, charge on the way. Again, there's Temple Archives as well, so likely looks as though we're going to be seeing Storm here, as we throw a couple of cannons and a battery into place on the top side initially. Melee upgrades, Carapace upgrades coming through. The Baneling speed will come up. Let's go Augment's coming up as well. And there's a few stays of what's coming about. Just going to be seeing +2 and that Storm coming up, that charge coming by. This couple of Archons will finish morphing. Hydra knocking down some rocks in the center. Melee and Carapace upgrades still building up. Extra Banes are producing. We are going to see this army of Shin still producing up and moving up toward the top side. I just do get at least one Oracle. And we have a lot of Banes moving in from the right-hand side as well. So Shin getting ready to start busting here. Storm is not ready yet. That would be the main thing that's going to help MaxPax out a bunch if he can get that Storm completed. These Banes are going to slow waddle up. Bane's made about to be done, so it's just going to finish now. We're going to start coming in from this right side. MaxPax sees it with these few Zealots. He does have a stasis to the right. He's got a few stasis wards to the left as well. Mothership shows up to that right side. We're going to cloak on the right side. Blink the Stalkers forward. Then the attack on the left side is pretty serious. We will lose at least the probes on the top base. MaxPax did run the other workers away. Can he protect that base at the end of this? He's kind of missing units to kind of help out, but he does get a Stalker Warpaint to help us here. Archons in the front tanking some of the damage. The fourth base goes down. MaxPax supply block, but he survives. And he does lose 20 workers, but he's actually going to kill a few more units as the Hydra start to take the wrong direction home. I actually don't hate it if MaxPax continues to push forward with these units and maybe cuts off those Hydras from retreating, but I think he stopped, which means he's not going to stop the Hydras from getting away through the top left-hand corner. MaxPax will rebuild the base. +2 about to finish. His army's going to be pretty powerful. I just don't know if it's sizable enough. Some Banes morphing in, some big stasis to start us off against some of these Lings. We do now have a Storm to help us out as well, and MaxPax will drop it into the fray. A few of those Lings taking hits. Extra Lings coming up. Hive on the way. Drones building. +2 missiles and Carapace continue to build by, and that air weapon upgrade continuing to produce as well. Lings, Banes, Hydras just coming up. Again, +2 missiles, +2 Carapace coming over Hive. And the Banes will get ready to join this battle. As obviously with the Hive especially, Shin is going to have access to that further tech. MaxPax is getting air weapons. He's got 1 Tempest at the moment. And getting this fourth base back up. Shin maxed out, also 90 drones, so he just has a really good economy. Lings will move up the right side. Cannons just going to try and push up. A few Zealots will warp in there just to get protecting. These Stalkers peeling back to the right side. The army just going to still hold out to the top side from MaxPax as the Lings come back around over the right at the moment. Hydra knocking these rocks down. A few more Banes morphing in the center. The Ultra Cavern is coming online. A couple extra Splains as well. Defense is preparing for Shin across the board at the moment. Shin is going to have himself... I mean, he could go for another wave, but he's also got extra tech coming online. Chitinous Plating for the Ultras, Hero Parasite for the Infestors. So we have upgrades that are kicking in from Shin, which means he maybe doesn't want to go yet, but the longer you wait, the more that the Protoss is going to have to work with as well. Few changes getting picked off here, just going to be seeing the Archons, the High Templar still stepping through, a Nexus in the forward position, a 5th location coming online already, and there's going to be seeing these Hydras just knocking down the Nexus, knocking down the Pylon. It's a nice time warp with the Storm. We still lose the probes. MaxPax has to find very strong efficiency here, which he has been doing already. which I feel like he continues to do. That becomes more difficult with the additional tech coming online from Shin. Access to the Infestors, access to Neural Parasites. These give Shin a much stronger army composition, realistically, and that means that the efficiency of the fight should shift, not in Shin's favor, but it should shift, well, I mean, I guess shifts in his favor. It's not going to swing over to being, you know, favorable for Shin in each and every fight, but each and every fight shouldn't be as inefficient for Shin, which will help out a lot. And make MaxPax struggle a little bit more, being on only these 4 bases right now. I mean, he is taking the 5th base in the center, if that stays alive, which currently is because Shin is focusing on other sides. MaxPax shows up with some Zealots, but they're struggling to find damage because realistically, they're walking into a Spine Crawler, walking into those drones and so on. And that, of course, is not exactly ideal. You just see those Lings still coming back across. Adrenal Gland's about to be done. The Archon's Tempests coming about, just going to push forward into the center, get rid of a couple more Crypt Tumors. Still stopping the top base from taking any further damage, and now his main army pushing. These Neurals are going to have to be good, because like Shin's army right now is not exactly incredible. It doesn't have the Ultras, right? It is just Ling, not even that many Banes, and then a few Hydras and the Infestors, like I say, are going to have to put this Zerg army a little bit on their shoulders, especially against these Tempests, which do not feel like there's an answer to at the moment. Again, Shin going to continue to run by, because Shin knows a big fight for him does not favor him at the moment based on where this game is at, so you're going to see the High Templar warp in, got an energy overcharge and the Storm off just in time to help a little bit further. MaxPax is still pressing with the main army across the other side of the map. Shin, with a ton of money, is rebuilding those Lings and Ultras. That's the other thing. By counterattacking, he's actually giving up some supply, which is going to go a long way to help. He does crash through those initial Banelings. The first Ultra popped out, is going to die very quickly as Shin is scrambling, and MaxPax is sitting on top of bases. This army very strong, and MaxPax, he endured a lot of pain in this game, but he is now starting to see a lot of success, and I actually think Shin's in trouble because as a few of these units pop out, they're not going to do too much. The Hydra's counterattacking, even having a bad time against some cannons, and while he is still getting a few probes, MaxPax is getting serious damage to himself. Recalls some of the army back. I don't think we really needed to recall here. Actually, unfortunately for Shin, he's going to walk these drones back on the left-hand side and just find that MaxPax has moved back to the left. MaxPax does need to reposition. He needs to go to the bottom side of the map now instead of the left side, so he needs to go for a bit of a different angle. The Archons announced their arrival into the game. Wow, wow, wow. As we do have the Lings again counterattacking Shin again, a sign that Zerg doesn't think his main army is up to the task. Super heavy on the counterattacks. And don't get me wrong, they're seeing success, they're killing workers, but I don't think they're killing enough, and especially this base here, like Lings alone don't get the job done. You need Banes, you need to crash through some of these cannons, otherwise too much gets done each and every time. The High Templar still gathered up, 3/3 upgrades coming through, Festus and the Ultra coming about, another couple of Stormers, and those Zerglings are going to get hit. Like I say, we're still trying to pressure a Shin, but MaxPax's army is 154 army supply at the moment. He's going to deny that bottom right base. A few Zealots are sneaking through onto that Queen. Big fungal growth comes down. These Ultras going to be coming through. Time Warp dropping. Storm's coming into place. The Archons going to try and hold out. This is a good fight for Shin because the Ultras are getting involved. I mean, a couple of Neurals come out. I don't think they're going to be super impactful overall. They're nice, and we're actually hitting the mothership, but we actually run out of detection here, so these Ultras are just derping on forward. Shin supply blocked as well, and we're going to get revenge on those Infestors as MaxPax crashes through to take this Game 1 victory. As for the first time in a while, we see a kind of a ground-focused Protoss army actually seeing success in the PvZ. And it didn't come easily. MaxPax lost his 4th base in this game, but what did he do? He didn't lose army. He made sure that all that Shin was able to kill was workers, so his army was always going to be very valuable and very potent. MaxPax takes game 1 against last week's champion and gets an advantage in this semi-final. Alright, MaxPax takes the first map here. Other results, by the way, Rogue 2-0 Cure, so it is Rogue on the bottom semi-final. We'll play hero or solo when that result comes through. Is anyone in-game on hero solo? I think the French stream may be. It is. Solo currently leading by a game in the other, in the final quarterfinal that is remaining. Sanctuary going to be map 2 here. I'll join into this in a second, just getting bugged out. Get this ready to resume. game number 2. In a few moments for MaxPax and Shin. MaxPax leading 1-0. Ready and go getting called. And this countdown will kick off in just a few moments' time. hero's playing Terran versus Solar. I didn't even realize. I thought it was CVP. Alright, let's dive into game 2 of MaxPax and Shin. Looks as though Solar has just beaten herO. So Solar playing against Rogue in the second semi. In the bottom left-hand corner, it is going to be the blue Protoss player. This is MaxPax. Well, in the top right, down a game, it is going to be Shin. Game 2 of this best-of-3 semi-final. Here in WARDITV Mondays, edition 100. Wasn't the cup supposed to be on Tuesday? Yes, but GSTL is tomorrow, and I also came home early, so fortunately, we're able to save ourselves from a $600 cup with 0 pro players signed up by me being home earlier than expected. So it just so happened I came home early, bro. So I came home yesterday instead of today. And because of that, we were able to move the cup forward back to Monday. Because like I say, I mean, I actually would have probably still left it till tomorrow if not for GSTL basically screwing us out of having any players available. So yeah, that is all. That is all. Happy 100. Hopefully you see WARDITV 1000. Man, that would actually be ridiculous. WARDITV Mondays 1000. That's 8. That would be 8 more. Wait, no. It took us 2 years to get here. We need to do that. So 18 years from now, we're still winning the Monday Cup. That'd be a little bit crazy. That would be a little bit crazy. Maybe, though. Maybe. Let's do it. Well, I mean, real talk, if you guys keep on supporting, if you guys, I mean, if you guys like it, support it, and it will keep happening. That this is plain and simple. If you guys enjoy what you see, keep supporting it. I am not going anywhere. Crazy announcement. I'm gonna keep casting StarCraft if you guys keep watching it. Okay. So even if it comes down to, you know, you guys in the chat plate being the Monday Cup players, I mean, that's terrifying. But if that's what it comes to, we'll cast it. You know. Is there something special for 100 a day? We have a slightly increased prize pool because Ian from Twitch has sponsored it by $200. So top 8 got paid out, but nothing else. I explained this earlier, but TLDR very quickly, not to be negative. Just straight up, it's very hard to commit to doing something special for a one-day cup, simply because, it's it's expensive, and money don't come easily. Which is why you guys should check out the WARDITV Patreon, patreon.com/WARDITV. Just as this game starts up, I just want to take a moment, guys. I hate seeing everyone fighting in chat. It's like, at least in the past, we were fighting over balance, and it's like, okay, you're a Terran, he's a Zerg, and you think the game's broke, whatever. I think it's so sad that we're fighting over the version of the game. Like, we have so many people in chat constantly who are just like, it's so sad because it's all brought on by the state of the game right now, and that sucks. But, like, the last thing we need to do is to keep fighting each other. Like, we all want to watch cool games, we all want to watch StarCraft. It's not gonna be easy if the community keeps splitting apart and fighting and not agree. Like, I don't say mean you all have to agree, but like, we don't have to like keep fighting each other all the time, you know? Like, just it's like we are the StarCraft community when, like, right now we are so split up and all over the place and so on, and like, I get it, like, everyone's got very kind of heavy views about the patch and stuff, but we gotta just chill a bit, you know? Be friends. Like I say, I know some of you guys think this version of the game is terrible and shouldn't have any games played on it, but like, fighting people in chat over that is not going to change things. You know? What is going to change things is if as a community we come together, we support the content we like, we support the tournaments we think are cool, we support the initiatives we think are awesome. Whether that's viewing, whether that's telling other people to watch, spreading the words. You know, it's WARDITV Mondays 100. We've done this for 100 editions. And there's not a mention of it on our StarCraft. And I hate our StarCraft. I don't necessarily think our StarCraft's the greatest place. But there's so much debate and fighting on our StarCraft. Like, there's 100 posts about how the patch sucks. And there's not a single post about the celebration of 100th Monday Cup. There's not a single thing about the fact we've now given out $40,000 of prize money in weekly cups over 2 years, and that we're still going strong. Like, we just need to, like, power up together, you know, be stronger. Yeah, I don't know. We just need to stick together a bit more, guys. Stick together a little bit more. And just, you know, be one as a community. Do what we can do. Thank you, for the, for the for the Prime sub. Was it Prime sub or was it just a regular sub? Sorry, let me scroll up. Prime sub for 14 months to the next 100. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for the Prime, mate. Appreciate it as always. Thank you so much. So yeah. Keep it positive, guys. Try not to fight each other because, like I said, we are the community and fighting each other is not going to progress anything. Take that hostile energy and turn it into positive energy somewhere. As you are going to see, Ling's going to run through first round on this Stalker. So a little counterattack from Shin is going to get in for some success already. This Ling's actually going to get some probes as well. MaxPax had a good start this game, so this is some good counter down for Shin to bring him back up a step. 3 workers going down. And actually, there's going to be more 4 or 5 workers. The Oracles are back over here, but because the Oracles are back here, they're not protecting the Stalkers, which have to recall. But when you get half the recall off, 2 Stalkers are left behind, and that's going to be a disaster as well. And MaxPax has a bit of a brutal start here now. He's actually up on workers, so he's not terribly set up. But that's going to be a lot of his pressure and a lot of his kind of commitment on the map now fading away. And he's doing a very similar thing to the previous game, trying to get up to this mothership very quickly, trying to set up onto this mothership and this basically support for these Stalkers. That's what MaxPax wants to do. It's going to be tough right now because he doesn't have a great answer against these Zerglings. Obviously, Lings in high numbers, Stalkers are not going to love that. The melee upgrade opening in general here is going to be very impactful. Excuse me, very impactful and positive for Shin against those Stalkers as well. Charge coming over. Just going to be seeing the +1 attack, the extra gates, the fleet peeking coming up as well. Let's run up. These Zealots still getting healed. The Oracle's going to sit overhead, fighting away onto a few more of these Zerglings already. And just still pushing up. The Baneling Nest coming over as well. An extra Hydra's building, +1 missiles. The Groove Spines all coming up as well right now. Let's see, these Stalkers won't be able to blink away. He's on his way to charge, he's on his way to Temple. It's very similar to the previous game in terms of MaxPax's setup. I actually wonder how Shin approaches it. I wonder what he does differently here, or if he just feels like maybe he just approached some of the previous fights badly and he can do a much better job. Because he's not exactly changing things up too much either. Lots of Ling Bane Hydra, +1 missiles will be done soon, so it's going to be melee and missile upgraded to allow us to put some pressure and some damage out. I'd imagine that is likely going to be a big thing in these next few moments as the Zerglings work their way over to that far left-hand side. He's splitting on 2 different angles, just Lings on the bottom. We have enough stack defense, you know? Cannon and a battery and stasis. Maybe not. A bit more stack defense on the way up. A couple of Zealots getting caught. The Oracles sort of maybe like to get involved, but then the Hydras show up as well. Stasis catches the Lings on the left, so it's just the Hydras. Obviously, MaxPax has to figure out his army split here to defend this on 2 angles. Big question will be, can you actually defend this base? All showing up with the Stalkers, and these Hydras are slow moving, by the way, and the Lings are not free of the Stasis Ward. Massive Stasis on the right-hand side as well. And while MaxPax is maybe struggling a bit to split the army, the Stasis Wards are helping out in a big way, and he's going to catch a bunch more Hydras here too with the Time Warp. MaxPax pushes those Hydras away, pushing them back. Shin looking for the back-to-back Monday Cups, but he is down in this game, and as long as not exactly down in this series, and not exactly. Don't get me wrong, he's not looking bad in this game, but these last couple of fights have not been it just yet, and he's on a bit of a timer. MaxPax is approaching +2. MaxPax is approaching Storm. This position gets better for him. However, this is the moment where MaxPax maybe is in the most trouble. No stays towards anymore. Stack defense lacking a little bit. However, we still get a couple of Zealots chasing this army down. The Lings are gone, so it's just Hydras. We have enough Zealots to jump on the Hydras. That's a big deal. No pressure elsewhere either, so we are not going to be seeing Shin dealing damage on the bottom side during this. MaxPax has a bunch of money to spend, though, and it's just not ready going anywhere just yet. He will finally lose this base. The Mothership is still adding damage. You pull the probes in as you try and find a defense, and Oracle will just activate and do what it can. The Mothership is very important, and it will stay alive. Kept alive by the slightest of health bars. 22 HP. It could have been closer, but not much closer without it actually dropping down. We will rebuild the 4th base. That was lost. MaxPax, how well do we stabilize here, and how well can we really approach this next wave of Shin army? Shin is 84 drones. He's actually got a ton of minerals to spend, but he's a bit lava-starved as he gets ready for another round of this. The Zealots immediately find this next wave of Zerg approaching on the right-hand side. We do have a couple of storms coming online soon. Will that be enough to change things here? Not if we lose the high tempo early. One storm comes off. It was pretty good. It actually did a lot of damage. It isn't the best place it could be. That one choke point entryway that you really want to utilize here is Shin. But now we don't have storm remaining. The few Banes get through. We've got to try and save things here as the Banes will crash in where they can. 8 probes go down. MaxPax still maintaining a good amount of economy, but he's fighting Hydras, which are concaved, and he doesn't really have anything in front of his important units to keep them alive. And the Archons, they don't love Hydras because obviously they have to get really close to fight the Hydras, which means they're running into a lot of the Hydra shots. MaxPax is just about able to hold this off once again. His 4th base coming back online again. Economy in a good place, but he needs to replenish some of his army, and that army is just so far back at the moment, down by about 50 army supply currently. Stack defense did a lot of work in the last game as well, but we don't really have... We have enough of it to maybe be effective against a few Lings, which we see here, and the battery helps keep that top cannon alive. As soon as the Hydras are here, the Hydras do so much. We are going to find another cloaking. Putting to work this Mothership, showing just how important it is. Imagine this Mothership had died. The difference in this game would have been monumental if this Mothership had gone down, because it has been the real reason why MaxPax has held through a couple of these scenarios already. And defense continuing. It's going to be a bit of a nice defense, but we have nothing to the left-hand side. And 4th base going back down, I think, is pretty deathly here, because... And 2 High Templars as well. You just need the economy of the 4th, I think, to realistically stay in this. Losing it one time was maybe manageable as you stabilize, but losing it a second time is going to make this very tough. Now, MaxPax... Oh no, what's he left up to the top? No, 2 Archons go down as well. Okay. That's a little bit too much being lost across the board, I think, as the Archons and the Stalkers continue to put the work in. Just going to drop a time warp down. The Lings will continue to flood through. Hydras will get the Mothership, and Shin will see victory in this game too, and tie us up 1-1 in this best of 3 semi-final matchup. We will go the distance. We will go to all 3 games into this next one as we get this going. All right, Olsen Temple coming on up. We'll get to a game 3 of this and see if it is going to be MaxPax to PvT it up in the finals, or if it's going to be an all-Zerg affair for the 100th Monday Cup, as Shin looks to go back-to-back potentially. So I'll be back on Tuesday. All right, I'll just type this in the chat. Yo, Ben K Music, thank you so much for the 5-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. How you doing? Hard right back at you. As we head into a game number 3. In the top left-hand corner of the map, it is going to be our blue Protoss player. This is going to be MaxPax. As in the bottom right, our red Zerg is going to be Shin. Thank you for joining us again for the 100th Monday Cup cross spawn, ults, and temple. I think that helps max packs, honestly. Cross spawns used to be the Zerg's, dream of a spawn, but cross spawn here should give you a bit more survivability as max packs. It's going to make some of the Zerg swarm hit a bit later. With the way he's been playing, the game relies a lot less on him being able to apply pressure quickly on the close spawns and a lot more on him being able to survive the Zerg pressure setting up to the 4 bases. So I think the cross spawn's good here for max packs, just on how these games have gone. Could have been your chance to win the Wardy Cup. It might have been tomorrow if it happened, honestly. Like, basically no one was going to play. I had like 10 players message me being like, hey, but can we fix this? I was like, I don't think so. And they were like, oh, sad. I was like, yeah, sad. So has there been any cannon rushing at pro level in the variety patch? I'm pretty sure cannon rushing is dead. I haven't really seen any of it, but yeah, I haven't really seen any of it, but from what I'm hearing, they killed cannon rushing. What tournaments tomorrow? GSTL, GSL Team Week. So the GSTL is going to come up. It's going to be on Tuesdays, so we're actually allowed to cover GSTL, but it's a bit funny. So the way that it works is that GSTL can only be streamed on Soup. So it can only be live streamed on Soup. So what we are going to be doing, guys, is first of all, I won't be here tomorrow because I have to get some stuff done tomorrow. Helen's getting surgery this week, so I have to get some stuff organized. But after tomorrow, tomorrow you can watch on the Cranky Ducklings, but what we will be doing is we will be doing the GSTL. We will actually be live casting on Soup, so we'll be not live on Twitch or YouTube. We'll only be live on Soup. And when we finish the live Soup broadcast, we will be trying to go live on Twitch and YouTube with the rebroadcast and basically giving you guys like it on these platforms as though it's a live show. There is an issue because it's on Tuesdays. Our Zero Space Weekly is going to be on Tuesdays. So it may not work every single time straight after, but we will try and get it rebroadcasted at some point so you guys can see it as a live broadcast if you want to on Twitch/YouTube, or you can join us on Soup. I mean, it doesn't really benefit me. I can't make any money on Soup, but yeah. I can't make any money on Soup, but obviously if I rebroadcast it afterwards, and it's a good event, it's a good game, so I'm hoping we at least get some love on the Twitch/YouTube for it and it makes it worthwhile. But it's a big event with a lot of the best players. It is just going to make sense to cast, so yeah. Is it a licensing issue? Yes, it's a Soup-sponsored tournament, so they won't allow any live streaming on the other platforms. Only once the live event is finished can we put it on the other platforms. We are not allowed to stream it. Oracle coming up, we'll get on the way. Zergling Speed will be producing through. Depths heading down to that bottom right-hand side to put some pressure on in. And they're going to shade through here for the early couple of moments. If players are participating, get caught. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that players are already signed up to play this other tournament, so they wouldn't have been able to play in the Wardy tournament tomorrow because it's at the exact same time. But now there's not a Wardy tournament tomorrow, so yeah. From the player point of view, they can't prioritize a weekly cup over the GSTL, and unfortunately, the GSTL I guess didn't know that we'd moved Monday's 100 to Tuesday. Just fair enough. It happens. It sucks, but it's just unlucky. But obviously, that's all fixed now, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like I say, we'll do our best to make it work, guys. I want to give you guys as much coverage of top-end StarCraft as we can. So, like I say, we'll do our best to make that happen. A couple of depths in the Oracle gathering up. The Queens are going to step over. The Oracle will take a few hits. And the Lings are going to run in and As the Depths continue to take a few more shots. Well, Depths' new Oracle will come back around. Couple of hits coming in. -8 drones. Big damage early for MaxPax. So once again, last time he got 5 drones. Now he gets 8. 8, and this time I don't think he's going to take the damage he took last time off the Ling Run by either. Make that 11. So great start from MaxPax early in this one. As the Oracle comes back across the map, and we try and see what else is going on. Activates, a couple probes, started to take some damage, but we killed maybe 1 and that's it, so that's not really too crazy. A couple Stalkers step over. Just gonna see a couple Queens dropping some injects. Yeah, Blinking the +1 coming up, the extra drones, the Evo Chamber and the hatch continue to come around. Just gonna see that Spore coming up as well. A couple Oracles will finish off this hatchery. Just gonna get that killed, so that's a cancel on the 4th base as well. Shin is not having the early game he needs right now in the slightest. MaxPax, 17 workers killed, 9 Lings killed as well. As he hits +1 and Blink, he's going to be able to already apply some good pressure with these Stalkers. Oh, Shin's going to throw down a Spire as well. Obviously, Shin's melee upgrade is not super fast here. The Spire is interesting. I mean, if you go Mutas, they're going to hit so late and so depowered. I'm not really convinced they're going to be super strong. At the same time, he might feel as though he has a chance to live because MaxPax might play passively off this lead. And then Mutas on a big map, cross spawns, actually maybe have the best chance of abusing the map in his favor. Really depends if MaxPax attacks, because if MaxPax sends it with these Stalkers, I mean, don't get me wrong, Lings are okay, but then they don't have their melee upgrade yet. The Spire's nowhere near being done. But this should be troublesome for Shin. And if nothing else, if you're forcing units out, you're forcing less and less investment into the Spire behind it. The peeking is done, so we can start the Mothership. We are going to see the Oracle setting up the stage towards that the Stalkers will back away with. We've already cancelled this 4th base once, and we're going to look for it again. Just going to see a couple of these Troop Tumors going down. Maybe he's going Corruptors to counter Expected Tempest. If he goes Corruptors here, he's just dead though. Like, he just can't stop Stalkers. If you put gas into Corruptors, then what, okay, you've maybe forced some Stalkers to stop Caustic Sprays across the map. There's just no shot. It has to be Mutas. Has to be Mutas. And MaxPax, I mean, he's going to pressure onto that 4th. Oh, his own 4th in a bit of trouble. I mean, 10 Mutas on the way. Do we have enough Stalkers? I mean, he doesn't have reinforcements across the map, right? So it's a little awkward. The Stalkers have that blink so they can pull back here. That's a massive stasis about to happen. Going to give the Stalkers a bit more time to press through. And actually, Stalkers may be able to fight against a couple of the initial Mutas fairly easily as well, because there's just less Lings active with this as well. The Queens will transfuse to try and buy a little bit more time. MaxPax holding on this bottom side. The couple Queens step over. Stalkers still doing some damage. Cryptobiotic, thank you for the 9-month resub on the Prime as well. He knows it's Mutas now, so he's going to start building Phoenix as well. Having that Stargate obviously allows him to do this. And he has a Fleet Beacon, so he can get Phoenix range. So even though it's going to be a lowish number of Phoenix at first, he can still get them very powerful. And we are going to go Hydra Den here from Shin, which means he's probably only going to build this first round of Mutas, which means that MaxPax doesn't want to overcommit on the Muta defense. But I think Phoenix and some Phoenix and Phoenix range is never going to be a terrible thing here, considering the size of the map. Because these Mutas are expected to do some work now that they have made their way to the other side. Oracle's even getting caught. 15 probes already going down. MaxPax taking a lot of damage here initially. 16 workers down. Now Ling Muta starting to think about maybe getting to this left-hand side. The problem is this was expensive and it's not completely dealt with. I mean, there's still 13 Mutas on the map, but that first wave of Mutas is typically where you're going to see some of the most power, especially now as the Phoenix count is going to be growing from this point on. MaxPax needs to get a few more probes back up here. He's down by a significant amount of workers. Shin is just being droned up like crazy. I'm impressed that Shin held this 4th base. It really shows how unpowerful the Blink Stalker pushes are nowadays. I know we're building like the freaking Mothership behind it and stuff, but like losing that many workers early in the game against someone who does commit to Blink Stalkers after and pokes you, the fact the 4th lived through that is pretty crazy, realistically. Phoenix will push up, a couple of these Mutas taking some damage. Extra Hydras on the way through. The Bane Nest is on its way. The Phoenix will still fire onto those Mutas. And again, the army coming back over to that right-hand side. We are going to see the mutas going to get caught by it. Uh-oh. We blink preemptively towards where the mutas are flying to so we can knock a bunch more of them down. Hey, Shin, do you have any other units? Hydras that are not upgraded. I mean, maybe the Hydras are good enough. This is on creep as well, remember? Hydras can be lifted by these Phoenix. We're going to pull in towards the stasis. That's really nice because it's going to actually zone some of the units. Nice time warp as well. Pop the cloaking, some damage onto the Overseers. I mean, that's something else the Phoenix can do. Kill the Overseers and let the cloaking do some work. Maxpax is not going to push his luck. He's sitting in a reinforcing Zerg's bases and creep spread. He'd rather back away a little bit and actually get home and get towards the carriers and towards a stronger army for himself. Obviously, with the mutas up and the Spire available, you do have the situation where the carriers are more counterable than usual. As we lose the mothership now as well on this retreat, some of these acceleration zones helping the chase continue. Maxpax trying to turn and fight into this a little bit here and there, but yeah, this time he's actually going to continue through. A couple more lifts on these Hydras as the Zealots keep pushing through. It's really a question of how many Lings show up, isn't it? Because if too many Lings show up, then you can't really keep doing this. But without the Lings, you can see the value the Stalkers and the Phoenix were able to find onto the Hydras. First carry is about to arrive, but 2 carries is not super scary, so that's going to be a question mark early. The Lings still gather a couple Phoenix. We've got some lifts. Going to see 1 Phoenix going down. Those interceptors are still building into good numbers. Lings and the Hydra shoving upwards towards the top left-hand side. Those Banes are slow waddling, by the way, as we are going to see the Archons putting in some work. The Banes trying to reach this mineral line. Interceptors still putting some work out. The probes are a little bit stuck. They've got nowhere good to go, but we kill the Banelings and the probes will live. Can we deal with the Hydras, though? Slow Banes waddling forward again, round 2. This time the Banes will make it into the mineral line, and this time the probes are not running. Maxpax is trying to deal with the main army. Stalkers, Archon, the carriers. I mean, the Phoenix are low on energy, so they don't even have that many lifts available. The interceptor count is pretty much 0. We have a new mothership showing up, which is nice. That time warp maybe wasn't far enough forward, as Shin has killed that forward base. No 4th base now for Maxpax, and this is starting to look pretty doomed. It was an ideal game for Maxpax. He killed 11 workers super early in the game. His opponent tried to go into mutas. And the fact he couldn't kill the 4th base on the bottom side of the map is just crazy. Like, yeah, obviously the mutas did well initially as well, but was it an overcommitment on Phoenix? Yeah. Maybe you didn't need the Phoenix against that amount of mutas either with the Hydras coming through, but at the same time, it's not like the Phoenix are being bad. The Phoenix also provided some good kills against the Hydras that wouldn't have happened otherwise as well. Just crazy that Shin found the defense while going into Aspire against, with a late melee upgrade as well against those Stalkers on the 4th. I think that's what really dictates this game. Because, yeah, the damage done early from Maxpax, I think, typically should have just been more than enough. But just, again, shows the absolute weakness of the Stalker pressure nowadays is just not strong. It's just not strong at all. You just don't have the power to push through and to punish what is, again, one of the worst starts a Zerg can have. It just doesn't matter. That's how weak the ground army of the Protoss has been lately. Again, you gotta pay that gateway tax to keep the pressure up. And if you're paying the gateway tax, you obviously... again, just can't quite afford as much as quickly, and it gives the Zerg that time to redrone and to reset. I don't think this base has any hope of surviving just yet. Yeah, maybe. Maxpax's army supply is not bad. The base just goes down. I don't love the time warp. This time warp doesn't catch anything. This time warp would have been good if you're afraid of this army pushing through onto you, but I don't think that's actually the case. I don't think that was the best time warp we could have dropped there from Maxpax. As now the Corruptors show up, and the one thing that maybe has a bit of hope in this game, which is the Air Army still, is going to have a much tougher time. Hydra's still looking good. A storm comes down. The Hydras will have to split backwards and out of here, as we are going to be seeing a few more Corruptors pulling back away. The Hydras are still going to stand strong. The Army pulling back from MaxSpecs to do what he can, but the corruptor count is just huge at this point. Corruptor's still building, Hydra's still building, MaxSpecs stuck on the 3 bases, can't possibly have enough right now. Pro's going to be in some trouble. Base on the top side going down. It's going to be seeing the Hydras and the Corruptors coming back over. Adrenal Glands plus 2 missiles, the plus 3 Carrot Base coming about as well. Just going to be seeing the Ultra Cavern on the way up as well. That mothership coming through. We just have our Corruptors back around to the bottom. We do have our Zealots setting up as well. And Hydra coming about. I mean, this new attempt of a 4th base is not really going to go anywhere. Shin has a lot of stuff as he flies through the carrier, taking some damage. Storm onto the ramp. 2 Vipers building just to give you a little bit of extra work here. Has Shin a little bit more hope on making things happen. And we got the Corruptors and the Hydras gathering back through. Ready for another shift. I mean, basically just playing deny the 4th base. If you don't have a 4th base, you can't play this game as MaxSpecs. Your army might be able to win a fight, but it's never going to win a rebuild against Shin when you have basically no economy of your own. I'm just going to hit that Stalker, going to take some damage. Couple Lings run down to the bottom, just going to get us around on these couple of Zealots. Just going to see these Zealots continue to drop, so the Lings clean that up. And Hydra's, again, we get back to the middle, and I mean, MaxSpecs at least has his army in front of the 4th this time around. Just not sure if that really does enough. I mean, what is a saving? He still has 5 tempers. I'm like, maybe just the lack of air army against this amount of Corruptors means he can be really strong on the ground. And dive through with the Hydras. Extra couple Storms coming down. The Storms have been pretty good. I mean, we stormed the Corruptors. I almost wish we just ignored the Corruptors and just said, you know what, kill my air army. I'm just going to win on the ground army right now. And MaxSpecs actually takes a very good fight. And he's going to be able to blink through, kill a bunch of Hydras on the back end of this. But then Shin is rich, and so he builds 5 Ultras, 9 more Corruptors. I don't know if he needs 9 more Corruptors, because I think the main thing he needs to get rid of is not the Tempest and the Carrier, but just the Mothership. If you get rid of the Mothership, you remove so much of the utility of this Protoss army. We got a couple of additional cannons coming back into place. And we'll see the 6 Ultras building out, 8 Lings on the way. Entire right side of the map belongs to Shin. A couple of Zealots will hit a hatchery, but does MaxSpecs even have a Robo? Has a Robo. Can't really afford to do anything with it, though. The problem is there's so much air presence, I guess, so many Corruptors that you kind of still don't really want to build too many Immortals. You want to build, like, Archons and just hope you can deal with the Ultras. He's going to, like, add an Immortal in, but, like, you need Archon count to make sure you can deal with the Corruptors as they fly through. Because I guess you are still going to be trying to protect the Prism at least. And also, if you keep the Corruptor count low, it's harder for him to build Druids. This is awkward because these couple Ultras are just going to force you back, and so the High Templar can't do much. Good abducts. MaxSpecs does at least kill the Vipers on the tail end of this, but this fight is just not going the way he needs it to. A couple of Banes is going to be pushing back down. These Archons are going to try and do their thing. They're going to drop a Time Warp, but MaxSpecs is sub 100 supply, and Shin is going to fly forward, get the Mothership, and close out this game and this series. Shin is going to make it ZVZ for the rest of the day as he looks for his back-to-back Monday Cup victory. Shin, Rogue, and Solar will be bringing home another Zerg title this week as we get the 2-1. Now out of the game. This was bullshit, man. You lose 11 drones early. You go late melee upgrade. You go super late Spire. and you just sit on your fourth, and you have your fourth base cancelled, and you just sit on your fourth and just defend the fourth against the Stalker Shove. This was crazy. I mean, maybe I missed some part. MaxPax messed up, but I mean, if MaxPax doesn't go Fleet Beacon, maybe you just kill him. But I don't think you can just not go Fleet Beacon, because if you just don't go Fleet Beacon, like, you're suiciding yourself later in the game. Yeah, this felt pretty bullshit, I'm not gonna lie. This felt like maybe MaxPax messed something up seriously. Then, like I say, maybe I did miss this, but this felt pretty nonsense. Never had a forward warp, and yeah, maybe that makes a difference. Forward warp and pylon, maybe that's all we need to make it look a bit better to capitalize on. Yeah, maybe we are just missing a forward pylon. Maybe that's all we needed. Yeah. Could have killed the fourth, he reinforced the Stalkers. But even if he kills the fourth, does he then just take just as much damage to the mutas? I mean, he messed up against the mutas, maybe? Because, like, he did take a lot of damage off the mutas. But, I mean, I feel like taking 16 probes off the muta... Maybe he killed the fourth. Maybe it doesn't matter. This is no hate against Shin either. Just... This is just a game where I didn't feel fair from my perspective, but... Like I say, I'm also not the best player in the world, so... I do not have always the correct calls on that. This game, okay. Are you ready? Here's my hot take. Wardy hot take time. That game felt like a lot of the PVTs on the last patch, where the Terran would do like a bunch of damage early and the Protoss still just like blasted them away and it just doesn't feel fair. It felt like one of those kind of games. And you killed 10 plus drones early in the game, it should be a cruise. I mean, it wasn't just 10 plus drones. 10 plus drones, a bunch of lings, cancel the fourth base, and your opponent plays into like Spire and melee upgrade late. Like, he has to delay loads of stuff. But you just, like, it was horrific. Like, what more could have gone wrong for Shin early? I guess in this scenario, close spawns would have helped MaxPax. It was just real bad. Like, this was... Like, this is an abysmal as a start as it gets at, like, the pro level, I think. Yeah. I do think MaxPax had a lot of bad casting on the mothership, though, as well. Like, I mean, this game was not without criticism. I'm focusing on the early stages, but MaxPax had a lot of bad spell casting with the mothership. I think he had a lot of time warps that were badly placed. Yeah, ZVP is wild. I don't really, I don't know. It's just rough. It's just rough at the moment. Wonder why MaxPax was so passive. I mean, cross spawns doesn't help. And obviously once the mutas were out, they kept him back a bit. And I think he's just genuinely... There's also this thing where, like, he may genuinely be afraid of just how much can be cramped, of, like, there's just, like, a thing about how much you can crank out of, like, a Zerg economy right now. So, like, he might have also just been, like, very wary of, like, current experience, which is, like, oh, Zerg always has a lot of stuff. And so maybe he didn't strike at some moments where he could have done as well. Phil McJr., thank you so much for the 37 3-month resub on the Prime. As you settle into second semi-final, pretty similar setup so far. Not a lot going cross spawns as well, so you might be in for a big ZVZ. That'd be fun. I mean, kind of like games where Zerg destroys most of the Terran economy and Terran wins because mules make up good replacements and free up army supply and Zerg loses. Yeah, well, that's how the matchup works. If you throw too much of your army away killing SCVs, the Terran army can survive because they have this mechanic called mules. You know? That's how TVZ works. That's how the matchup is balanced. The matchup is balanced around the Terran having mules, and they're trying to kill the economy, but not losing too much army in doing so. Guys, stop fighting. I will just turn chat off. You guys are making me miserable having to read this. I know I called out bullshit as well, but like, you don't have to fight. You can just, you know, see what we say sometimes. Spire from Rogue. Spire from Solar as well. He's going Carapace instead of the melee. He is going, both players are going to have some amount of roaches on the way out as well at the moment. Let's get back around the top. I'm just going to be seeing the Roach the Bane pulling back through Rogue. Gonna be the first of the meters. So that's a bit more gas available because he's not building Roach speed. Will Rogue finish the Roach speed? And this Roach is just going to step through. Maybe seeing a couple of shots coming about. I mean, Solo's going to get a little bit of damage here, but like this should still be manageable. And like I said, it's going to be a question of how many meters we can build. And he's going to hit. I'm just going to be having this Hatch already taking some shots. Let's pull back over the right-hand side. Again, lots of meters on the way up. You will end up with more of them. Roach pushing down that bottom side. Feelings is going to be there. Extremity's coming about, and we'll just see this clash of armies as Solo has that Carapace over the melee, remember. Now we're going to go +2 melee on the side of Rogue. They both know it's mutas because they're both going fly a Carapace. They're both very aware of where this game is heading. And that is into a full-on muta war. So on the map slightly sooner with more mutas. Helps a lot because now he gets a couple of Overlord kills, so Rogue gets supply blocked as well. Mutas move to that right-hand side. A lot of Lings moving up to the top. Mutas are going to regather again. Let's reposition in a little bit. The other Lings on the ground. Chase through. I'm just going to have a Queen in position. Just going to push those mutas back once more. Again, we're doing a good job of keeping things moving for a little bit. And still a muta count is Up to 24 against Rogue 16. Now, Rogue is about to pop out 8 more meters, so it's maybe not that deadly, but Solar still has the plus 5 meters in production as well, so it is definitely going to be Solar with a lot more, and this is not a moment for Rogue to fight, I don't think. Solar also has the Lings underneath, which helps absorb some of the meter bounces. And Rogue is just going to completely lose out if this is how this is going. He's already losing a lot of drones as well, which means he can't keep the gas mining up, and without the gas mining, it means even more meter deficit. Rogue has been outnumbered here. GG. Solar going to take game 1 of this BO3. I thought we were going to be in for a long meter fight, but not quite the case, as we will get to this next game in just a few moments. Hey, what's kind of funny, I noticed this, but the last 3 victories in WARDITV Mondays were Rogue, Solar, and Shin, and obviously those are the 3 players that remain here today. It's also funny because, again, if you look all time, WARDITV Mondays has 8 Zerg victors, 3 of those in the last 3 weeks. If we win today, then basically half of the Zerg victories all time in Monday Cups are going to be out on 4 of the last 100 weeks. It's pretty nutty. We've always had a bit of a weird statistic with the Zerg victories in the Monday Cups. And we'll get this back going right. You guys gonna behave if I turn the emote chat off? Honestly, I'm sick of seeing people fight, man. And I know I said something about balance, but like, I just made a statement based on the game. Like, we don't have to then, again, all fight each other and be angry. Just like, enjoy the games a bit, you know? Enjoy the games a little. Thought they changed something with meter glaives to hit anti-air unit targets with priority. Oh, really? I may have missed that. Honestly. I might have missed that in the drama of everything else. Gamchi, thank you so much for the prime sub. Rogue down a game. Solar up a game. Rogue up bottom right, Solar upper left. Shin in the finals, looking to go back-to-back. There's only been a very small handful of players who have ever gone back-to-back in the WARDITV Mondays. Shin looking to be one of those guys. Also looking to break the 2-win count. Become the 6th most winning player in WARDITV Monday history if you win today. Promethium, thank you for the 500 bids. Terran Forever, and Tara are done, and for the Swarm. All the races, huh? Glaives hit the meters. Oh, okay. Sorry, I am wrong, Glaives, then. I've been spouting this fact for years. It's hard to lose. I actually didn't know they changed it. I must have missed that one in the patches at some point. Was that like a quality of life update? What's up, Siri? Thank you for the 46-month resub. Another Wardy Monday? Hell yeah, it is. Thank you so much for subbing up and keeping the support coming. Appreciate you big time. He's in the QL. That's a buff. Yeah, obviously the buff. That's funny. So now you can just let your Lings actually go stream and do damage. Overlord hanging about. A couple Lings heading down. Bling's gonna get turned around. Queen's gonna get pushed the other way. Queen's gathering, just going to see the Eva Chamber dropping at the front onto the natural. Do you have the Carapace already starting from solo though, so faster link speed, faster Carapace, but Rogue has this much faster lair. Let's see what he builds off of it. Rotron coming down for now. Obviously with later link speed, he expect him to just play into Roaches, but let's see what happens. And that lair coming up, about to be done. The Rotron is building. Link speed and that Carapace all coming through. The hatchery building on the third base as well. A couple of lings. We'll head down to the front. Just going to say you're always complaining about the game every time I tune in. Just wanted you to be aware. That's probably why people feel comfortable doing that here. Wardy brain determining how hard to go on this comment. Beep boop, beep boop. Oh, Ling's gonna get in. We'll protect it. Rogue has a lot of Lings behind it, so it did not really kind of have the chance to actually catch on that Queen. He has the Carapace advantage, so Ling's fights are gonna favor him for a moment or two. Obviously, the Spire's up from Rogue, and so the mutas will start a build, and this time, so we'll have to play defensively against these mutas. Ban that guy. Yeah, I think if you think I'm always complaining about the game, then you just don't like how I talk. Like, I don't know. I just talk about the game, man. Like, I really don't think I complain very much. I don't think I've complained about the game at all today, actually. I'm trying to think of anything I've said that's been complaining. These Lings head back around to the bottom. I see a couple of mutas just going to be there, and a couple of Lings are going to just push. A couple of Queens are going to be here to turn the Lings back the other way. There's some missiles, flyer attack upgrade, roach speed. Continue to come over. The Ling's just going to dive onto the third. Obviously, that's one of the downsides of Rogue is you don't have the third hatch yet. Solar is going to use this as an opportunity to get his Queen count up as well, so he can start a defense. He wins massively on the Ling War. Again, that Carapace is putting in work. Rogue is going to begin to go +1 missiles behind this, so he's not even going to stick with this kind of Ling kind of setup. He's going to get at least roaches building behind these mutas. So he's on 9 mutas. He might just stop there if he's going to build roaches, which he has to do because he's building missiles and roach speed. It doesn't make sense to put your gas there instead of into more mutas already. So yeah, it does seem like he's ready to just play roaches instead, which I don't think is a bad idea because Solo's starting to get good defense up. And these mutas being kept defensive, so I just don't think Rogue's going to find what he needs to with the mutas. At least switching into roaches right now, what you can do is maybe catch Solo off guard. If Solo is expecting you to play into more mutas and you show up with a massive roach army, Solo's preparation may not be good for that. And that might be your opening at this point as Rogue, because you've had a pretty rough time. You can see we're still trying to get info here as Solo poking at the front. Does catch that drone that may have been about to rebuild that hatchery again. Good chunk of Queens sitting between the bases. Mutalisks will be trying to find that chance. They are going to find themselves on top of a couple of those Zerglings. A few of those already begin to go down. And there's the flyer attack upgrade coming up on this Spire as well. The mutas head back down the bottom. The Lings up to the top. Going to move into the middle of the map also. A lot of roaches, and Solar is building infestors, which again is, I mean, he's got some roaches of his own. What's the roach count at? 12 to 25. I mean, army supply is just up by about 20 for Rogue. Solar is in a great position if he can live. problem is those Infestors are not going to be immediately helpful. The Queens have a lot of Transfuse energy, which is something. Upgrades are not there either for Soul. He's missing a missile upgrade, so his Roaches are worse than Rogues. Rogue is going to miss a massive opportunity if he doesn't do something with this army. Like, he is baking some Ravagers now. He is still building Roaches. I mean, he can't really drone because the third hatchery is not even done, so... But he has to fight this. Like, there's just no way you don't fight this. Now the Infestors are out, though, and so if they can fungal, that would go a long way, too. I mean, these few Lings from Soul are doing some insane things. They're forcing so much of the army to deal with them. It's definitely a distraction that's working against Rogue and has given Soul a lot more time here than he might have had otherwise. Do not think Soul should be pushing out and picking the fight, though. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a nice fungal. I mean, maybe it's nice just for the fact that these Ravagers are not in position and the fungals are good. Oh, right, I mean, maybe this was okay. Yeah, soften up a lot of the army. I mean, it just feels like an awkward moment where it feels like you should be the defender, but I guess a lot of stuff was out of position, and there is definitely an aspect of taking advantage of that, right? So... Roach Ravager, Roachling all gathering up, plus 1 missiles, plus 2 Carapace coming through. The Mutas work their way through the top of the map. Got a lot of Roach Ravager on the bottom left-hand side coming across as well. Infestors, Queens gathering up. This Roach Ravager will get a couple more Zerglings already. Start pushing in toward this third base on the top. Mutas get rid of an Extractor as well. It's just going to pick that off. A couple files coming into place at the moment. No, the Infestors! That's rough. They had a lot of value to be given in this game. Infestors should always be lurking in the back, right? And unless the Mutas kind of make a dive onto them and successfully get them, they should pretty much have always been able to be dropping fungals in these engagements. And it's now an investment that Solar does not fully capitalize on. He's got way less Ravagers here. That means less damage output, but he gets a good jump on this as Rogue maybe moved a bit too far forward. Solar comes through, pushes Rogue back. It's good Corrosive Biles on the ramp as well. The Muta's trying to find a target on that low HP Ravager, I believe, but that doesn't work. Solar will counterattack with a few Zerglings as well to try and cause even more chaos, but Rogue does slot the Lings into position. Oh, sorry, the Queen into position to deal with the Lings. Sorry, my YouTube just had a hiccup and I got distracted. My words messed up. Let's pick off that hatchery. The rest of this Roach Ravager gathers up. 2 more Infestors and the Ultra coming through, plus 2 melee, and the plus 3 Cannon's Plane coming online, plus 3 Carapace as well. These Mutas are just going to chip at that Ultra Cavern already. Transfusion 1, save it. Transfusion. Oh, he transfused the Extractor instead of the Ultra Cavern. I think it's actually going to live anyway, but... scary. I mean, it's still obviously low HP target for later. Rogue denying that 4th base for all the time it took him to get his 3rd base up and running. He's now going to take the 4th base down a few times to slow Solar down. Not that he himself is taking his own 4th as this Ultra pops. That's why the Infestors are really good, because if the Infestors block a fungal down, the Ultra can actually get involved. And the Ultra's going to get involved anyway. Corrosive Biles landing and contenting with the fungal. He's just seen the Mutas at this point not doing too much, especially as the Queens get to just fire onto them pretty quickly. Good transfusions off the Queens as well onto the Ultralisk. Once again, that Ultra, the one stepping forward and helping to push these Ravagers away. Rogue Supply takes a bit of a hit off this fight. And you're starting to see, I think, the real value of Solar's army truly come through and truly be the game decider, as now he sits up 30 supply. Rogue has unfortunately just not found enough with what he's been playing with. Now he's going to go Hydrogen and Infestation Pit, recognizing the position, and going to try and make this into something a little different for himself, as the Mutas will do what they can, but there's not too much they can necessarily do. Repositions. There's going to be some extra roaches coming through. The drones coming up as well. He pulls over, a bunch of Lings running elsewhere. The Biles coming down. He's going to see the Queens, the Ultras, the rest of this continue to gather about. Ravager pulling back down. Ultra's still going to chase. TC trying to look around on this. Corrosive Vials landing. The Ultra's going to keep diving forward. The Ultra's continue to go after the Roach Ravager as well. Roach Ravager should be able to kite the Ultras, but not if they get fungal, and that's what the Infestors are being important for. A second fungal in the background there, and Rogue is just going to melt. Solar is going to make it back to the finals in this WARDITV Mondays edition 100, and he is going to be up against Shin this week in this final. So Solar won 2 weeks ago, Shin won last week. Which of these Zergs is going to take another win? Solar, a 5-time champion of the WARDITV Mondays, Shin, a 2-time champion. Solar now with 10 finals under his belt, and Shin with 6 as of today. So, I'm going to get this ready to go. Yeah, finals coming up, guys. I'm just going to go grab a drink or so. I'll be coming right back, and we'll jump into this finals, which is going to be Solar versus Shin BO5. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Well, not bye, but BRB. But bye. Bye for now. For a couple minutes. It's final time for the 100th Monday Cup. We had never had a ZVZ finals in the WARDITV Mondays until 2 weeks ago, and now we have another here in edition 100. In the bottom right corner, our blue Zerg is going to be Solar, looking to become a 6-time WARDITV Monday champion a day. Taking on Shin, looking to be one of the few to ever go back-to-back. Won his second Monday Cup last week, after winning edition number 2 years ago. And now looking to obviously go for his third. With the ZVC standing in his way, we set up here on a rainfall for map 1. And we get this started. Pull from Shin, a little bit of a safe opener. Just have ourselves a hatch in the pool, all coming about, the gas coming over as well. And a few of these bits and pieces up and running here. Obviously the hatch will be later from Shin because he went for the pool first. I don't think he's really going to be able to get much done from this either. Would have put him in a good position if Solar had early pooled, but obviously it's just not the case. What we'll gather, just going to be seeing a couple of drones coming through, the Queen's coming about. There's going to be seeing the Evo chamber, the drones, the Queen's continue to gather up. Gonna drop an inject down. Just gonna be seeing a couple lings. We'll gather again the carapace. I'm just gonna be gathering through the Queen up, production continuing. So I guess that carapace started for the moment then. Bring that out. Ling speed on the way as well. So a few bits and pieces of this up and running. Solo goes later link speed, but Shin hasn't gone link speed either. So Solo's just going to benefit getting into this carapace kind of freely. I mean, Shin is going to get a much faster lair, I guess. Neither player rushing towards the third hatchery with the lateness of the link speeds. Extract is starting at the moment. Links will continue through again. Link speed, carapace continue to come about. There's a couple of Queens just going to be in that Overlord. Just gonna be seeing the Knight is on the way up from Shin, so he's gonna get aggressive, but I don't really know what into. Like, Solar has less drones initially. He's actually gonna have this link pressure right now, which is going well, gonna kill one Queen. The Roaches should be out in time to stop this being too terrible, especially as we just got the Evo Chamber down to block. I'm not sure what we really do with the Niders, and Shin seems to realize the same. I think Shin was thinking something else was coming up here that the Niders could help him really kind of hit a timing against, but now he's going to realize how many Lings there are. Like I say, there's no opportunity for Niders to really be successful here. Because it's just that much, you know, Solo just has good army supply. Like, Solo is just not lacking, so, yeah. Just have the few Roaches stepping over to the side, move over a couple of moments. Things moving around again. Roach speed coming up, missile upgrade coming through, the extra Roaches on the way. Things still gather again. The Overlord join. Roaches still popping out. The Carapace is about halfway done. The Queen's gonna hit that Overseer. Couple of Ravages still just moving through. And that missile upgrade about to be done. Roach speed's over halfway through. Extra Roach is reducing, so Solo again up to a good Roach count. He's now on a worker lead in this game. Remember, he already has the Carapace. As he finishes missiles, he'll be 1-1. Shin is +1 with Carapace finishing a bit after the missiles of Solo. Shin does have Roach speed already, and both these guys are kind of looking to start fighting, but this overall should just benefit Solo. 6 drones ahead means that long term, if nothing significant happens in the fights, which probably shouldn't because they're making such similar armies, if nothing happens in the fights, then Solo should just benefit from the, you know, few extra drones that he has. Especially as Solo is just looking to be the defender here, so that 14... I mean, Shin does have an army supply lead. Is it enough, like I say, to be significant? As the Carapace upgrade finishes, so he's going to try and make this kind of time window work for him. He has got a few more Ravagers. Solo dives forwards into the Ravagers, trying to just target them down. A very brave player, believing he has the power to do that, and I actually think he does. He's going to dodge all these Biles. Steps up, obviously has the creep to chase for a little extra as well, and I'm kind of surprised to see Shin stopping and fighting here of all moments. This feels like one of the weaker moments he's had. And we are going to have to see Solo keeping all of his Ravagers alive too, while Shin lost his. And this is looking like a great spot for Solo. He was before at least down in army supply. Now it's dead even, so Shin has nothing to really show for this game state, apart from a lack of workers and, like I say, now an army supply that's not even necessarily going to do enough anyway. And Shin could just stop attacking and maybe start making some drones and step back into this a little, but it's definitely going to be advantage Solo, and it becomes more advantage to Solo the more that this fight continues, because then Solo's just getting into a better and better place. We finally got a couple of the Ravagers killed at least, so Solo loses out on those. Throws of Vowels in the back from Shin, didn't do well, but he's going to lose his last Ravagers as Solo targets those down, making this a purely Roach fight for the moment. And Solo will chase again, feeling the win off the back of that engagement. He's definitely going to try and get a little extra done. Turn that back around. Solo just in a great position in this opening game. Again, looking for his 6th WARDITV Monday victory this week. Those Roaches continue to gather about. Again, a couple missile upgrades coming through. And drones, the Roaches, and the Queens continue to come up as well. Setup continues, plus 2 missiles still continuing as well. We'll see, just going to float over towards the upper left-hand side again, plus 2 missiles coming up from both. The speed is kicking in. Well, let's still maintain that worker lead as Shin. At least he's going to get a second upgrade start, so he's going to give himself at least some opportunity to perhaps have an advantage here. So Roach is moving through, Ravager moving forward. units. The Roaches, the Ravagers stepping forward. Now we're going to be seeing this army spreading and ready to dive in on this. We are going to engage through on two sides. A couple Corrosive Files going to land out of reach of anything. Corrosive Files of Solar forcing the Ravagers back for a second. His spread is impressive. He is down the upgrade though. That +2 missiles is going to put some work in for Shin. Will it be enough to turn the tide of battle? 20 army supply lead for Solar, but obviously being the aggressor as well means his units have to come across the map. And just hitting the anti-timing by walking into the upgrade of Shin. Shin is going to be able to win this trade and push that back the other way. Eight Roaches, 3 Ravagers, all morphing in. The +2 Carapace coming up as well. Another couple of Ravagers still just morphing up. The Roaches coming over as well. This army will spread. Shin is going to take a lead. I mean, this is just a bad timing to fight for Solar. Like, he just fought into the +2 timing perfect. Like, the +2 finished as he attacked in. And his own +2, like, it's almost like he attacked on his opponent's upgrade timing. Well, he did attack on his opponent's upgrade timing. He timed it perfectly for his opponent. It's unfortunate. Ravager regathers a couple more morphing. Couple of Corrosive Files. Overlord going to go down already. Going to be a nice catch. More files again. We go back and forth. Shin on the 2-2 upgrades now. So that +2 Carapace, like I say, he was going double upgrades, and now we're really going to get to see the benefit of that a little bit. Solar trying to engage on the left side, has a good push on the right to try and deny this 4th base. He is trying to get to his own 4th and is successfully getting there. He's going to push back in both directions though. Shin going to win on the left, Shin already pushing back on the right. And so Shin's defense is going to be looking good as 10 more Roaches continue to produce through from Solar at the moment. 3 more Ravagers morphing in. Ravagers is pushed through. That Ravager already going to be grabbed. As the Red Ravager continue to come through. A couple Corrosive Files coming down. We're just going to get to that top side. Hatchet going to go down already. Going to be seeing the Roaches still fighting. Corrosive Files going to knock down that Roach Drone over here. That's obviously rough for Solar rebuilding Roaches. Is he going to be able to do enough on the defense while also achieving on offense? That's going to be the question. He is the one killing drones. Shin's army over here is getting smaller. Solar's army still looking good, but there's 15 Roaches reproducing from Shin. And Solar can only build Zerglings, which is not exactly ideal. And Shin's army is winning out over on this side. But it looks like Shin has got this one. Again, the turning point truly was just Solar, believe it or not. Just, yeah, I mean, you can't really get away with attacking into your opponent's. Like, he had the lead, but he just truly attacked fully into his opponent's upgrade timing. And that is not going to be ideal. GG's. GG's. Alright, another game. Going to be on Sanctuary for map 2. And get straight to it and get this ready to go in just a couple moments. Ready, go. And we get ourselves settled into this next game. Sanctuary with Shin taking the 1-0 lead, looking for his back-to-back Monday title. Again, beat Cure last week to make it the victory. It was a 3-1 win for him a week ago. And the top right down a game. Our blue Zerg player is going to be Solar. Bottom left, our red Zerg will be Shin. Overlord's moving. And take a few moments of calm as we are going to go hatchery on both sides. I believe. No, actually, sorry. Pool from Shin. Pool from Shin. So Shin opening a bit safer once again. Hatchery coming through. And those drones coming up. Overlord is going to move down. Again, the Queen, the Hatchet Extractor coming up. What's up, Newblood123? Thank you so much for the 6-month resub on the Prime. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hatchery will be finishing like the stations, obviously a little bit later on that. Not too shocking. We just saw with the builds and might have a slight disadvantage, but it shouldn't be so crazy. Well, a couple of drones, the Queen continue to gather up. It's going to be left from Shin. It's a very slow link speed series. Obviously, the last game was kind of slow initially. This is going to be slow a little bit as well. Drone transfer over, Lair coming about, and this +1 missiles already coming through. Link speed coming up as well. There's the difference coming in. Spire from Solar Shin. Missile upgrade and a Roach Roar. And Solar will begin the link speed behind this, looking to play the link meter setup. And Spire's halfway done. +1 missiles and that Roach speed continue to gather about. So obviously trying to fly through for some info. He's going to get knocked down before I believe it sees anything interesting, right? Doesn't see the Spire. Knows the Lair's up, I guess, but what else are you really expecting when there's no third hatchery yet? Maybe it's enough info. I mean, Spire now done. We'll see what Solar wants to do. He doesn't have that much gas. Starts 3 meters. Can start a couple more. It's only, what, 5 meters? It's not super scary. Depends what the follow-up wants to be from Solar, but with the fact he went into link speed, kind of means he's kind of looking more toward the, kind of towards, you know, building a lot of meters. Otherwise, he could have just gone a few meters into the Roach follow-up and never really needed the link speed at all, right? As the meters continue to crank on out. Hatcher coming up, Extractor's coming over, the drone's building into place. +1 missiles and Carapace on the side of Shin, going to be the upgrade lead for him, obviously, when it comes to ground army. But we'll see how that continues to go. Let's see, there's a couple of mutas continuing to hit that Overlord at the moment. That will go down. So Overlord falls. Spore gets picked off. Muta's still going to put some pressure on. There goes a drone. There goes a couple of Overlords here, so a bit more damage being dealt. That Overlord drops. Supply block from Shin. And Solar, 92 out of 100. Now 108 supply. 95 out of 108. To hit this Queen, and that Queen will drop. A couple more Queens move up into the main of the Spore coming down into position. The Lings will move forward as well. Just still seeing our Muta's melee upgrade and the flyer attack upgrade coming online as well. The Muta's going to get in for another Spore Crawler here. Just going to pick that off. Another drone going down also. Another nice grab for the moment. Yes, we'll just keep hitting. A couple of Queens continue to go down. There's a couple of them falling already. Turn back away. The Queen's in position with the Spore Crawler doing damage. The Ling's now going to zoom into this left side third base. So Solo really taking advantage of the map control he's created, denying the spores. Shin's lack of preparation for this is absolutely hurting him, and we are just building more and more Mutas. Now that does mean, as again, it's going to be Muta heavy from Solo. It's going to be a chance for Shin to kind of, turtle up a little bit and just play defense. And if you can start to control the scenario, there is eventually an answer for him. But it is much further down the line at this stage, it would seem, and does revolve around to try and just minimize what these Mutas can do. Try now is not really a lot in this main, I guess, with the spores finished. We killed the spawning pool though already, so it was kind of a lot. Just maybe not too much more. Infestors are on the way, so Shin will at least get his first answer to those Mutas, try and lock them down a little. Again, fly attack coming through, the melee upgrade, the Bane speed coming up, a couple of changelings gonna go stepping across as well. Infestors keep building, plus 2 missiles about to be done from Shin. So he's going to be 2-1, obviously massive upgrade lead on the ground, but that's to be expected. His full focus was this Roach setup compared to the setup of Solar, which has been much more about getting into those Mutalisks. It's a nice fungal, but there's just no follow-up to it. So they're going to take a lot of damage. They actually turn around for more as the Lings up in the main base. Going to kill a couple drones as well. Actually, a lot of drones going to be low HP, which would be nice if we could find the Mutas here to just kill them off. Like I said, those Mutas turn back for more. Got another fungal in, but still in good numbers. 13 of them still alive at the moment. Gather Orange is going to be seeing the Lurker Den now building as well. Got that Lurker Den finished. Infestors move about, just going to be seeing the Lings. Going to get fungled, but they kill an Infestor, so it is a lot of Lings and they go down in sync, but the Infestor going down is obviously a pretty big deal as well. Queen's going to fight a couple of Banes from Solo, not going to get too far forward, but the Lings in the main base are going to be a problem again. As they get up, they get a couple units, they'll go after some of these drones. We'll just pull into the defense. Solo is going to take a 5th hatchery. Obviously, he wants to keep control of this game as best as he can. See that Queen getting picked off. There's a lot of Infestors. Obviously, with the look, is that it's going to be easy to defend the ground army. You can maybe start making some moves yourself. Nine the Banelings. The defense has been pretty good from Shin over the last few moments. Spore going to pick off a Mutalisk. A couple of Cryptors gather here. He Those lings gather. Just gonna see the fungal landing nicely. I mean, it's probably worth a second fungal to finish those lings. Oh, just care about fungal on the mutas. Shin's defense continues to look great. Like I say, with lurkers showing up, we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be so hard for Solo to push into this position. Still upgrading those lurkers though. Sizing spines next on the list of things to be added to. Let's bring our sizing spines up. We're stepping through, a couple drones going down, 3 more Evo chambers coming up as well here. Trying faster moving through. We're just going to get after the Overseer. Just going to take that down. Fungal not quite hit just yet. There's a couple more drones get killed as well. Just have to pull back once again. It's a lot of broods that we actually have from Soul. It's actually an interesting approach now. Brood Ultra Muta to then run into... I mean, what kills the Brood Lords is an actual really good question. Well, the Brood's definitely going to kill some of the initial lurkers. Hydra's going to try and deal with the Microbial Shroud. And let's continue to try and fight for more Broodlings dropping into place. It's kind of awkward, but I do think the Broodlings are slowly breaking through. There's not enough damage to kill them fast enough that we're stopping the Broodlings from doing too much. And now the Banes are going to roll forward. Shin launching a counter-attack, so he is going to have some Banes kind of crashing into him. That's a problem, but at least he's doing some damage on the other side. I just don't think he has any way to actually kill the Broodlords. What a great response from Solo to go into the Broods. Just really undoes everything Shin was setting up for, which is just, I'm going to build a strong ground army. I'm going to be able to turtle. I'm going to be able to sit here. And so Solo just makes the Broodlords, and they actually make the difference in the ZV. It's so rare. It's like a never used unit in ZVZ. It's crazy. I thought Solo was getting into trouble, but he had the tech answers he needed to get the job done. Alright guys, we are going to count into Ults and Temple. In the top right-hand side is going to be our blue Zerg player for this game 3. We're going to get close spawns on Ults and Temple. Solo bringing it back by a map to make this a competitive back-and-forth final so far. Top left, our red Zerg is Shin. I think Ultras could have won this. I think Ultras are a little scarier though, right? Because at least with the Ultras, Lurkers can defeat Ultras if the position is set up correctly and well, so... yeah, I'd be a little more skeptical of the Ultras, I guess. Just a little more skeptical. Maybe, yeah, because there wasn't enough lurkers. Yeah. Depends a little on the positioning of everything in the end, doesn't it? Depends a little on the positioning of it all. Game 3. As we have a pool already up from Shin, and Solo's going to go pool first now. So Shin, unfortunately, is going to hit one of the better answers possible that Solo could have here. Solo's played pool hatch first a couple of times, so it is actually a really good time for him to be mixing this up. Because obviously Shin felt as though he could take advantage of the hatchery first plays with this early pool, and now that's not really going to be happening. Couple lings arriving. Ancient didn't actually make... Okay, he has a lot of lings at home. But I guess he just keeps them here because he saw the pull first from his opponent. So it's just ahead by 3 workers though, so it's a pretty significant initial lead in this game, to say the least. The Ling's gonna step forward, just gonna see a few Lings ready to respond there initially, so we put some work out for a few moments as well. Few shots just going through on either side, get ourselves all set up. And it's ready to continue. The extra Lings continue to produce through for the moment. Just gonna see them pulling over to that direction as well. That's gonna miss each other. Ling speed finishing. Not a lot left on the other side of the map for Shin, so these Lings could actually do some work. Ling's gonna run through. A couple of those Lings gonna get jumped on. And Shin just realizes, uh-oh, they don't have anything here. He's gonna type GG. He's also just been droning heavily, so he just leaves instantly. And Solo gets the catch for an advantage. And now a 2-1 lead in this best of 5 final. WARDITV Mondays 100. Will it be Solo's to call the owner of the 100th victory? We'll be finding out in a few moments. Let's get in. As we have in the top right-hand side of the blue Zerg player, this is going to be Solo with the 2-1 lead and a chance to wrap it up right here on Washout. As we have in the bottom left-hand side, the red Zerg is Shin. A little bit of Overlord movement for the moment and get settled down here for a second. Just gonna have the hatchery down, get this settled in for a couple of moments. Bringing this through. Get this all sorted. I'm getting Queen coming up, a few drones on the way, Extractor building up as well. Just going to pool coming through that pool very far forward. Not going to matter too much as we settle down. Queen just going to get after that Overlord, so again, finding a little bit of opportunity, finding some damage here just initially, getting some work done. I'm just going to drop a little Crypt Tumor down, spread that out a little bit for a couple of moments. Again, Bane Nest coming up with the Ling Speed as well from Solar, so he's going to have that Ling Speed, he's going to have the Bane Nest. Shin going to play for the Carapace upgrade. Bit more of a longer term thing. Obviously, you get Carapace that can help you across a lot of help, but we'll see. Bam, 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 bam. Ling Speed's about to finish again. The Bane Nest coming through. Two Lings continuing up. So Shin is going to have, obviously, he wants a lot of Lings. He wants to make advantage of having the Carapace upgrade, right? So he would like to try and do as much as possible here. A couple of those Lings are going to go chase around a couple moments. A couple of Lings of Solo are going to run. We got some more Lings showing up. And Baneling is already on its way in. Carapace being added. Shin defending his Banelings, walking across the map. He's about to have the Carapace, so will be better set. He has more units as well. Solo has drawn heavily. Can Solo get a defense here? While Banes aren't going to one-shot through the Carapace, you can still have a lot of impact, right? Because with the Banes, you can still bring a lot of Lings low, and that can be enough to then play cleanup. Obviously, you do have the Queens that will target down some of the Banes as well. Couple shots coming through. Just going to be seeing a few hits coming about. The Lings still surrounding those Queens. Bane's on the right side getting shot at. The Ling's trying to come over. Shin doing some work, but he's still down by a lot of workers, so he's got work to do. He's going to catch a couple of these roaches as they're spawning. Already streaming more crap maps across the map. More maps across the map. More Zerglings across the map. I have no idea what I was actually trying to say there. And he is going to have himself this hat-trick kill, so Solo going to be supply blocked. These roaches stepping forward. Okay, the Bane's tank a Baneling shot. The Ling's tank a Baneling shot there, but that's going to be fine. And Shin I was really wanting to send this. We're about to have Carapace from Solo, so that Carapace advantage is going to disappear. Solo says GG. Shin has enough. We are going to go to a final game. More what? I think I said more craps across the map. I don't know. I have no idea what I was trying to say at all. More craps across the... Yeah, I have no idea what I was actually trying to say. My brain was just like... Game 5 coming up. Monday Cup 100 up for grabs for either of these Zergies. At Eternity's Edge going to be the final map. One more time, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the WARDITV Mondays. It is pretty incredible to get to 100 events, obviously. Again, this was a tournament we made to fill the gap of ESL Open Cups, presuming they were just going to reappear. And they never did, so super crazy that we're here literally 100 weeks later, able to provide you guys with constant Monday action. It is probably our most successful tournament. The viewership's always high, even for ZVZ. So thank you so much for enjoying, watching, and all the rest. Like I say, really appreciate it. And again, one more time, I know I'm a shill, but these events don't happen without your guys' support. Obviously, again, without you guys supporting these, we do not have the WARDITV Mondays as well as all the other WARDITV tournaments that keep on happening. Thank you so much, Darren MB41, for the Prime sub for 11 months. So obviously, if you do enjoy, do consider priming up. Do consider the Patreon page, patreon.com/WARDITV. You can do the free stuff as well. Like, subscribe on the YouTube, follow on the Twitch, come back and watch more StarCraft here on the future. Like I say, the Patreon's a big one because, again, that all goes in towards prize money for these events as well. All of this is super important to us being able to keep on producing SC2 content for you guys. So consider supporting. Again, we are also looking for sponsors for the WARDITV 2026 Championship. So if you are interested in potentially sponsoring our end-of-year championship, feel free to reach out. I say this all the time, but sometimes you never know who's listening. So, yeah, if you are excited about that, consider reaching out. We'd love to get you involved and help make the end-of-year championship as awesome as possible. And without further ado, let's get into Game 5 of this ZVZ. Bottom right-hand side in this final, this is going to be Solar. Taking on our red Zerg in the top left corner of the map. We are going to have Shin. We've lost music for the final game of the day. Oof. Sometimes never lucky. Need more variety. Turns the music off. Yeah. I hope they fix this. It's mildly annoying. 2% of all WARDITV Monday finals have been ZVZ. Yes. We never had a ZVZ final until 2 weeks ago. And now we've had 2 in the first 100. Crazy. Definitely a strong Zerg resurgence in this pouch. Doesn't necessarily help that I think the one player who would probably be helping to cull the Zergs a little bit would be Clem, and he's not been playing as much lately. I mean, we see ZVT has been pretty competitive, I think it's fair to say, so... Definitely a bit of a factor. As well. Obviously, ZVP is the matchup where I think we're still looking for inspiration and hope a little bit as to what players might be able to do, what they're trying to figure out, and so that matchup is the one that's looking the most problematic. But yeah, like I say, it doesn't help if the best TVZ doesn't participate a couple of weeks. Just as the Zerg results up until now, didn't benefit from the best Zergs not participating super regularly as well, right? So, in a vacuum, these recent results look very, very good for Zerg, but there's some other little things to keep in mind. Results of one cup do not necessarily mean everything at the end of the day. They don't mean nothing, but they don't mean everything. Didn't Zerg players skip weeklies for the most part in the past? Zerg definitely had the least representation. Because while Clem, herO, and Max Packs would play Nyon every week, for example, and Classic, and Bjorn, and Kua, players like Rogue, Solar, Shin, I mean, Rogue was very inconsistent, Shin was fairly inconsistent, Solar was fairly inconsistent. Like, the amount of Zergs that play weekly events frequently was very low before. And it still is, realistically, it's just, all the Zergs are playing a little bit more right now as well, so, yeah. Even like Shin and Solo, I'm not going to go through and count them all, right? But I'm pretty sure if you count the amount of times Shin/Solo participate in the Mondays, it would still be significantly less than a herO and a Max Pax and Clem and so on. So it's not that they never played, but I reckon you could easily say they probably played half of these events, whereas the other guys I mentioned probably played like 75% plus of these events, So it's a pretty big deal, pretty big difference there too. Like I say, multiple factors in play. Game 5 of this final, and we are starting to see some action as Shin applies the pressure, but Solar is there with the Ling Blade to play defense. A couple Lings coming across. Roach Roaring is coming up from Shin as well. Hatchery producing. couple of the roaches, the lings, and the banes still coming up from Solar Supply. Good for him, but he is down on drones, so he's going to be focusing a lot on this attack, it would seem. He's going to drone behind this unit production. That's okay for Shin if he's already producing units now and should be fairly safe, because it means it's going to be difficult for Solar to find a chance to really do damage. Queen is going to shoot. Overlord takes some damage. It's going to run through. Queen going to take some damage. And there's extra roaches building through. That carapace coming in is already carapace done from Shin, so he does have the better upgrade scenario here as well as he goes into the missiles. And again, Shin looking to join a very, very small group of players who have gone back-to-back in WARDITV Monday victories. Shin could join, be one of the very few to do it. I think it's only herO, Clem, Max Packs, and Classic. I don't think Solar has ever gone back-to-back on the Mondays. I think Classic has. Yeah, Classic did on Mondays 34 and 35. And also 66 and 67. Classic usually wins in bunches, actually. So yeah, Shin looking to do what many others have not been able to, as the drones had to pull back there for a second. Solar supply still good. But again, lacking on upgrades. Shin is attacking, though. Both of them building a lair behind this. I mean, the aggressor generally ends up in a bad place here, simply for the fact that you're not going to have as many units on the battlefield or in the battle. It's going to be seen as Roach Strike fight. I mean, this is just not a good fight for Shin. He needs to back away. Like, it's just so even outside the fact that he's the aggressor. He's going to have missiles soon as well, which is nice, but like that's just not going to matter if he loses everything now. Oh, this is horrible for Shin. Just didn't realize that this was not the timing. Just felt as though he had to try and do something here, and try and do something he went for, but just does not end great just yet. Well, Solo throws down a Spire to capitalize on his lead a little bit, it seems. Shin just going to fall back. I mean, again, just sad that he fought with basically no upgrade lead at all. He attacked in when Carapace was done, so it was equal upgrades. And equal upgrades are not exactly ideal. When that was pretty much the one thing he was going to have an advantage of. Like, if he attacked 30 seconds later, maybe the upgrades help enough. Good scout from Shin. He's going to see the Spire, so preparations can be made about the Spire. But, of course, if you over-prep for the Spire and Solar then doesn't use it, that could be bad for you. Now, of course, we see Solar's going into melee upgrade, so it's very likely he's going to use it. It's actually more than anything going to trigger from Shin an idea to attack, which I don't hate, but this would have obviously just been much better if he didn't lose so much supply previously. Roaches will move forward. The Lings are going to come across. A couple of Ravager shots hitting onto some of those Lings. The Lings coming in from that right-hand side. A couple Corrosive Vials coming out. Still hitting toward those Roaches. We do have to split away a little bit as well. Solar up 20 supply at the moment. Continue to play trade out with the rest of these Roaches. The Lings are going to keep streaming through as well. That Ravager in the background is also going to be having some trouble as the Roach Ravager continues to chase into this. It's just going to be way too much from Solar. Shin, he lost it on the attack. And that is going to do it. Just an even game. And being the aggressor in an even game is going to be pretty darn damning. Solar is going to be your WARDITV Monday 100 champion. Taking down Shin 3-2. Full 5 games EVZ. And Solar is going to take that victory. His 6th ever Monday Cup victory across 10 finals. Shin with his 6th final will now be 2-4 in finals all time in the Monday Cup. GG's. GG's, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been so much fun to hang out with you guys on the WARDITV Mondays. Number 100, like I say, A fun little celebration of 100 freaking weeks of doing this thing. One more time, consider supporting the events. Thank you so much, Kukurus, for the 20-month resub on the Prime subs. Likes and follows, subscriptions on YouTube, you got the memberships, you can give subs, you can keep on watching more StarCraft, and most importantly, more than anything else, check out the WARDITV Patreon page, guys, where 100% of everything goes into StarCraft 2 tournament prize money. This is the most important place you can support StarCraft 2 on, with my content at least, because this means you are directly supporting the tournaments. Direct support of the tournaments means that we can push out more events with higher prize money and keep the players getting paid for playing StarCraft 2. We cannot watch StarCraft 2 without players playing the game. So help us to support the players. Check out the Patreon. That's patreon.com/WARDITV. Even if it's just a few dollars, even if it's $1 a month or anything, even if it's $1 one time, it all adds up. It all adds up. It all goes a long way. So check it out. Patreon.com/WARDITV. Alright guys, my voice is dying. I spent the weekend in a field, so I'm tired. My voice is dying. I can't do too much else. I'll rate you guys over to 24/7 stream. A quick reminder, I am not here for the rest of the week. Helen's getting surgery on Thursday, so we're prepping for that a little bit, and then I'm looking after her a bit after. So you're likely not going to see me until Monday Cup 101. So I will see you guys next week. When we come back, it's going to be a bit of a weird one because Helen's obviously going to be recovering and stuff. But when we come back, we do, generally speaking, have a lot of StarCrafty stuff kind of planned. I'm going to start fitting the Summer Championship stuff in as well, but it's just going to take a little bit of figuring things out and, like I say, balancing some life stuff along with the StarCraft. So thanks so much for the love. I will run you guys into some ads, and when the ads are done, I'll host you guys to the 24/7 stream. I'll see you guys this time next week. There'll be daily YouTube uploads, and the 24/7 stream will be live as well. If you miss my voice, you can go hang out over there. It does help as well. Thank you so much for the love, guys. I will see you guys next time for more StarCraft 2. Thank you for making Mondays 100 a very zergy and fun affair. I'll see you guys later. Bye.